The following podcast contains strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. Brick, you don't need to do this.
I have to see this.
Brick, I love you.
I have to see this.
Think about your sister.
You just gotta let me go. You just gotta let me go.
Please don't watch this movie.
Let him go.
Are we still alive?
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hello and welcome to the Four Guys in a Movie, the podcast about movies, snacks, and all things nerdy. My name is the Mighty Pants Laser, and I'm joined by these aliens.
Yeah, dying alien from COVID.
Brick pod.
Dusty trousers.
A shower of orange goop.
And this episode, we watched 2005's War of the Worlds by Stefan Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
His finest work, if I do say so myself.
Oh, you were
yeah.
making it French. Sorry, it took a bit. I was like, who the hell is that?
Rob looks like he wants to fight already. This isn't good.
Thank you for
I'm
joining
gonna make you guys leave the room and put fucking blindfolds on.
Start singing our favorite song.
John's would be let the bodies hit the floor.
All the boys to the heart.
What the fuck was that? Was she singing the song from Charlie the Unicorn?
I don't know.
Yup.
I would have rather been at Candy Mountain,
Who
even if it cost me a kidney.
Hello.
Who here has seen this film before?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Nope.
had forgotten that I saw it until I was halfway through seeing it again this time.
I feel like I saw this in theaters.
I did. see it.
I know I did.
That makes me.
I had already reached the point where if it was Tom Cruise, nope.
In 2005, Steven Spielberg had a lot more weight with me. So I'm like, oh, he can't fuck this up. It
I mean,
was pre-Crystal Skull,
you're
so
half right.
but all the same little hands were there.
I also saw this movie 4 times this week.
Okay.
I tried.
That's
I
why you
fell
seem
asleep.
so out
Those
of it
listening,
today.
Tony did the air quotes.
Yeah, sorry.
Also,
I thought that would be clear in my voice too, but
for listeners at home, you can't tell, but there's like 30 fucking lights on right now, just shining everywhere at all weird angles, and you can't see everything.
lots of people screaming.
What about this movie, Tony?
Oh, fuck.
Tell us some shit.
So yeah, well,
Enlighten us.
as you already mentioned, Steven Spielberg, known for little things like Ready Player One, BFG, and The Terminal. We're naming his best.
Wasn't The Terminal critically acclaimed? Question mark.
Yes, but see, here's the thing, because we kind of we're dancing around that, but we're talking Spielberg, so he's on a different level. So even his crap is better than high quality stuff from a lot of the filmmakers out there.
I mean,
War of the Worlds.
I was spacing out again, but did you say Crystal Skull?
I did not mention that one, but I figure we already had.
Spielberg's got some high highs,
Yeah.
but he's got some low lows, man.
Yes, but I will watch just about any Spielberg's worst before I watch Transformers on my own.
Or The Room.
I know I'm already
I would
kicking
watch
a
The
dead
Room
horse,
1,000
but
times before I watch
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah, Crystal Skull was the most pain I ever had at a movie theater. That's-
That one did set a new bar. So, but anyway, so no surprise, I'm sure. But Spielberg loved the War of the Worlds and wanted to remake this
And why
movie for
did
a
he do
long
this?
time. Because he wanted to make this. This was a passion project of his for a long time, and he was going to make it several years ago. But then, whoops, Independence Day came out, so he was like, I better wait on that. Because, don't want that overlap. The tripod noise we keep making fun of is didgeridoo with just computer effects.
Nice.
Also known as the sound Christopher Nolan makes when he orgasms.
Yeah. He pretty much does anything.
Yeah, any orifice doing anything makes that noise. At this point, just when he talks. It's
All right. This from beginning to end, like this movie started filming and then was released
In 2 hours.
close in the span of 10 months.
Wow.
That is insanely short for a big movie like this.
Yeah, for this caliber movie, that's way too short.
Yeah. But that's also helped, I'm sure, because like a lot of the extras that were in the background were just people that lived in the area. Like when there were a bunch of scenes where like the lightning, when people were taking photos. That's because Spielberg was like, "Who wants a photo of Tom Cruise?" Go. That's literally
Oh,
it.
so it was just the flashes going off?
No, the lightning was real, but like while Tom Cruise is like, "Oh, let's look at the lightning," and the people in the background were taking pictures of lightning.
Oh,
they were
okay.
taking pictures of Tom Cruise.
Okay.
'cause,
All
you
right.
know.
All right.
Because they're assholes in New Jersey. We'll get to that later.
Wow, yeah.
Sorry,
that's-
New Jersey, but you know.
But yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense. But apparently, also because of the short time on all this, Spielberg was working on post-production stuff for this movie, so he didn't get to join Tom Cruise when he went on Oprah, which he was originally supposed to do. That would have been interesting. That is the infamous
He would have
jumping
been
on the
jumping
couch.
up and down on Steven Spielberg.
He might have been.
That would have been fun.
Apparently that caused quite a rift between them and the whole Scientology nonsense and whatever. Yeah, that's the bulk of it. We can get into some stuff as we go. But and also just for Joe, a actual M1 Abrams tank instead of just a tank dressed like one. So, yay. Want to guess?
It did real well.
Could be worse. Want to guess at the budget this movie had?
There were a
Entirely
lot
too
of.
much.
150 million.
Like 90% of a Transformers. Which I guess is like 150. Dang, I'm gonna say 175.
Well, I was going to say 175, so I'll say 180.
I feel like that's too much, but
Go ham, 210.
Did we all overshoot?
You did. It was 132.
you know, once I thought about it and I remembered what this fucking movie looks like, I was like, yeah, it can't have been that much. Table
Still too
scraps.
much.
Table
Oh,
scraps from the
wrong.
2000s.
I think this is another example where I don't see with my eyes. Just
Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Want to guess how much this movie made?
I'm gonna say like 300.
350.
250.
Let's see. It's
But
And a butt.
I'll just go. I'll go with $1. We'll just see where that takes me.
Nowhere. Because you all undershot. It was 603.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this is Steven Spielberg with Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean, I thought
Yeah.
it would.
Yes,
I
but like once
Figured it would have
And before-
underperformed compared to what they expected of it.
I'm sure it
My
did.
guess.
But, also,
Okay.
this is like worldwide and everything. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is before Crystal Skull. Like, Tom Cruise was, again, promoting this movie is when we kind of, more people caught on to him being a little unhinged.
Fucking Looney Tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
So this was gangbusters, my friends.
It's long before he strapped himself to the side of an airplane as it took off.
Like 10 times. We already know Tom
He does
Cruise
it
is
for
in this
fun, though.
movie. Joe, who else is in this movie?
You have Dakota Fanning as 33% of the screams. Tim Robbins as Harlan Ogilvy, #1 crazy man. Miranda Otto as criminally underused, and Justin Chatwin as about
An
40%
asshole.
of the screams as Robbie. And I'm sorry, Robbie, that you have to share a name.
I don't. My name is Rob.
Full stop.
Full stop. Just-
There's no E at the end, therefore, let's suck E.
That's right. You gotta be
Fair
fancy
enough.
about it. You can call me Robert.
I don't do Joey, so you don't have to do Robbie.
Well, thank you. It's kind of you.
You're welcome.
So, apropos of nothing, I saw a car with a Brazzers license plate.
Nice. Okay.
And
I
I
have
just,
a timestamp.
no,
This
like
might be our shortest time of getting off the rails yet.
it really threw me off, and I needed to talk about it because it's been
On
weighing
mic.
on my mind. Like,
Sure.
how do you Do you get do you spend points to get that? Like,
What kind of car was it?
let me see. I took a picture.
Is it the bang bus?
It was not. It was not. It was. I think it was a pickup actually.
Oh, I
The
bet it
pickup.
was.
Do you call
Truck.
the
I get
pickup that you would like drive around and fuck in the back of the fuck up?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I like it.
No, it's the pussy wagon.
But yeah,
could be the pussy wagon.
Why can
my
I not
name's
find
Buck.
the
And
photo?
I'm here to fuck.
Well, anyway, it exists, and it just really threw me off. I just wondered, it got me thinking about life and things, and what kind of a person buys a Brazzers license plate.
Oh yeah, let's not play that game.
It's one of
Oh,
those
there it
people
is.
you want to meet, but then you don't.
It was it's Ford Super Duty, and it's not. It's a Brazzers
course.
license plate surround. Like
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they didn't actually pay for a vanity plate
no,
that says Brazzers.
Yeah.
Oh, so
no, it's like officially licensed gear.
Okay. And
yeah,
hey,
Does
okay.
Brazzers have a store?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure that they have a place where you can buy Brazzers merch.
Yeah, maybe it's like
Right.
Marlboro points. You just-
I mean, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
did they buy enough porn to like
They
get
got-
a free
well,
cover?
They got enough Pornhub points to.
And like
yeah.
they were like, yes, I will put this on my vehicle.
Well, you
I
know-
want everyone to know how furiously I masturbate.
Dude,
You know, there's
Again,
like that.
you wanna
that
play this
meme
game?
where you take a
Like,
picture.
do you tell everyone how furiously you masturbate?
no, but I'm like between the truck nuts, I've seen like some of the weirdest shit you can see on a
Bike
car.
nuts.
I've seen it.
On a bicycle.
I've seen it. Bike nuts.
Bike
Are
nuts,
you
yep.
fucking
Yeah,
kidding me?
there's someone right around the corner from me that has a hentai mobile.
Grape nuts.
Yeah,
Even grapes got nuts these days.
I have regularly seen the Venom
what you did
car,
there.
which is cool. But
All right.
Well, I'm picturing, the meme where you would like
down with
just
that.
take a picture of something vaguely suggestive and just put Brazzers on it. Like someone was doing that in real life here.
There was a car that was
Maybe.
vaguely suggestive.
Yeah,
the
maybe
truck
he
did not have
think-
nuts.
maybe he thinks that will get him laid. Yeah,
Full
sad.
stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing a guy likes more
Mm-hmm.
than knowing you spend money on porn, like enough
Yeah,
to get
that's
a
the
license plate
saddest
cover.
part.
Like,
Like it's not hard to find porn for free. Like not even remotely hard.
he's made an investment here.
Yeah.
Well, we
He's-
don't
Maybe
know
he
he's-
wants to support his favorite artists.
Yeah, we don't know he
guess.
spent money on the porn. He just spent on porn merchandise.
That's even worse.
Yes.
I like my ladies with sad eyes and bruised legs. All right, so
Jesus Christ.
anyway,
And full stop.
Brick,
Hi.
you wanted to eat things for us. I don't know why, but I'm gonna let you do that now before we get into the movie because
So,
I don't
I
want to.
swear to God, he brings out a chihuahua to shit on the table. I'm leaving.
We're gonna make him eat the shit.
No, I'm saying
the
that's his
chihuahua.
plan, and I'm
Chalupa.
not sticking around.
once upon a time, I was gifted something, and I recently
Understand this is an audio-only podcast.
Yep.
So
I recently refound it and
Oh, no.
decided, should I just eat it on the air?
No. No.
Oh,
What the
that's
fuck is
that
that?
is the
No.
emergency carbs from the survival kit John gave us years ago.
Yes.
Oh my
How-
god.
It's
Yeah,
an
how green is
ancient,
that?
ancient
That is a
Twinkie.
Twinkie.
no, don't eat
It
that.
is
Why?
rock hard.
Why did you? What?
Did you want me to share?
Wait.
Yes.
I'm
Well, it's a
sorry.
cloud
Yeah,
cake.
It's not even a Twinkie.
Oh yeah, because this was when Twinkies was out of business for a
This-
short
That is
minute,
true.
whatever.
It's a
cloud
Twinkie
cake.
alike.
But yeah, that means it cannot survive the apocalypse. It can't
Yeah,
even
hence-
survive a weekend.
Hence why it is
Yes.
no longer a Twinkie and it is now a dehydrated.
It's
rock sponge.
preserved.
Yeah.
It is no longer
It's
carbs.
Twinkie biscuit.
Yeah.
It's coral.
It's a
Did you
mineral
bring the
now.
machete John gave us in that survival kit to cut it?
So
Do not open that. Oh God
I just
damn
did.
it!
I don't know if your teeth can
Yeah.
defeat
I
that.
don't either.
Let him. He's
Well, let him try.
We're this
yeah.
far invested into it now.
No.
Let him
No.
do what he's gonna
No,
do.
you know what? You gotta
I'm cool
Joey,
with picking on Brick, but like I don't want him to get hurt.
He's
I don't
doing
want to
it
take him
to
to the
himself.
hospital.
You gotta-
no, still,
Show,
I can't.
show the
no.
cross section there,
You
Brick.
got a
That's-
Joey
It's-
Chestnut, that
it's
sort of thing.
totally fine.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not. That is not fine.
Because, wait, because it doesn't have visible mold on it, it's totally fine.
Correct. So basically, just for the listeners at home.
Wait, so I stopped my Ranch Bugles pineapple Doritos and 2 different kinds of Pop-Tarts for this shit?
Well,
You bring out those bugles.
The foam part of this looks like the kind of spray foam that you would spray
That's
in
'cause it is.
crevasses.
It is.
it
Yes.
does look like old spray foam, aged.
It's the same
sun-
color,
sun
same
aged
amount of holes in
spray
it.
No.
I just almost put it in my mouth,
Yes.
and Tony got real nervous.
As much as I appreciate you staying on theme, so that by the end of this podcast you fall over and just spill a bunch of orange liquid out of your head
Do not do that.
and die, do not do that. I am being dead serious. Do not eat that, or attempt to
It's
eat that,
just
or put it in
dried
your
out.
mouth. It's not food anymore.
Listen, you know
I don't
what?
care.
You are legally an adult. You can do whatever you want.
Well, yeah,
I've been
but
told I'm legally
I'm
an-
glazed, so I'm not driving your ass to the hospital.
Joe, you look like you were about to say something.
No, just proceed. Just, there's no talking you out of this.
no,
Well,
You know,
it snapped off.
so it tastes like a clown shoe.
Yeah. Well, it tastes like, sounds like a clown's eating it.
Did you get
And-
kicked in the teeth by a clown? How do you know that?
yes.
All right, look at him.
Yeah.
This is decisively gross enough that I'm not actually going to eat anymore.
Yeah,
Okay. All right,
This
we learned
actually-
something
surprising
today.
no one.
Bugles.
This actually tastes really freaking terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's like
What
10
a
years
shock.
old.
Is your body telling you what you're putting in your mouth?
No, that's what happened when I tried to blow fire with Roswell.
I don't know when John gave us those, but it's been at least
About 10
5
years.
years.
It's-
It's been yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably been close to a decade.
Ooh,
yeah.
Was I married?
That's got a very unpleasant aftertaste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat this. Anything else?
All right, we have
That's
pine-
called your esophagus dissolving.
this-
No,
movie-
it's just in my mouth. The flavor. It almost exploded like powder.
So we get a surprise Morgan Freeman.
Back to the movie.
Well, this is back when
Morgan Freeman was just everywhere.
Yeah,
I
just
get it.
narrating everything.
I get
think
it.
He's playing God at this point.
Actually, before that, we get the CGI DNA bullshit from every movie that came out in the early to mid 2000s.
Yep.
And not a fan of that.
No.
Not a
But
fan
but
of that.
Rob, it zooms out and it's a water drop, and then the
Yeah.
water drop turns to Earth.
Yeah, I saw that. It was great. And then
it's like a
and
metaphor.
then the penguins
Oh,
marched.
Mr. DNA.
Yeah.
Intellects from across the stars are jealous of us.
Yeah, we're making this for the Discovery Channel, but
Yeah,
if you need it,
I guess we should point out that yes, Mr. Freeman does explain to us that these aliens have been watching us intently
I think
since
this
the
is a
dawn
direct
of
quote
humanity.
from the book.
yeah.
Okay.
You
But-
should probably mention that it was
Oh,
a
yeah,
book.
it's based on a book. This
Written
had a couple
By
different
Orson
versions.
Wells
And a radio pod. I mean, not podcast, but a radio
by
broadcast.
H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells.
I'm gonna. There's only a couple things I know about the book, and they're really
Yeah, it was
dumb.
in reverse. Yeah, so it was written by H.G. Wells.
Yeah, that was the joke.
So I did do some reading.
Dude, I just watched a man eat a decade-old not Twinkie. I'm not gonna assume
Yeah, all the stupids on that end of the
things were
table.
meant
You know
to
what it
be
is now?
jokes.
It's a shrinky.
The point is, I'm not gonna assume it was a joke and not
About the same
pure
size, but
stupidity.
it's certainly not the
I do
same
like-
mass.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, no, it's smaller.
He just put it back together, and it fit back
you
together
can't tell.
like a puzzle
Yeah,
piece.
yeah, oh, yeah.
You can't tell that it snapped apart.
It's weird because
And it's reforming right now too.
it does have a little bit of give to it still,
So finish
like
it.
old foam. But anyway,
Okay, so we get Tom Cruise on a crane.
Mm-hmm.
And him using the crane to load cargo containers was probably my fourth or fifth favorite part of this movie. And
Yes, to be clear, he's operating a crane, not hanging from a crane,
This-
as you would
yes,
expect
yes,
Tom
yes.
Cruise to be.
he was before he climbed up and threw the previous operator out.
All right, so I asked John this, so you guys can maybe weigh in. I don't know if it was just the copy that we saw, but it looked like this movie had a weird film grain on it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
was it a film noir? See what I did there?
I heard
No,
what
my-
you did there.
I mean, my theory, and maybe somebody could fact check this for us, is Spielberg was feeling nostalgic and actually filmed it on real film instead of digital.
Yes, it could be.
Which is possible, but I feel like that would that not have skyrocketed the budget on this?
Steven Spielberg.
Well, no,
they just
I mean-
give him film.
I think at 05, like digital wasn't the
Yeah,
complete standard yet.
It
Right?
certainly wouldn't be as crazy to have it just on film at that point. Yeah, one thing I did discover, I forgot what the technique was called, but basically George Lucas in some interview was like, "Yeah, this is the first movie that Spielberg didn't do storyboarding, instead did whatever this other technique, and I taught him how to do that when we made Revenge of the Sith." I'm like,
to not
Congrats.
have a plan. Is that basically?
What do they call that? Animatics or something like that, where they basically just,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
used Flash to animate all the
Animaniacs.
Anyways, yeah, it's got this weird film weird on it, which doesn't earn it any points in my book.
So he operates a gigantic container crane and moves a container, and then he's like, "Gotta go," and his boss is like, "Hey, I got some overtime for you." He's like, "No, I gotta go drive like an asshole."
It really was like the end of Flintstones intro. Like
Yabba dabba do.
Yeah, and he's driving like nobody else is on the road.
he's driving like John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's got to make it home because he's got to meet up with Eowyn and Tim.
Like he was less careless than Maverick. You're AON.
Yeah, dance like nobody's watching.
Now I'm like legit picturing Eowyn and Tim from
Enchanter.
Yeah, the Enchanter.
Well,
Tim's over there just blowing
he was
up
driving.
cans.
He was driving a car that was an obvious penis car to help make
Yeah,
up for
had a Brazzers license
the
plate.
fact that he lost his wife and his children, is now a middle-aged man living all by himself.
No, yeah, he was told to dance like nobody's watching and drive like nobody's on the road.
Oh, okay, cool.
And well, he's like, I was going to do that anyway, so thanks for legitimizing. I'm Tom Cruise. But yeah,
Is Tim his brother? This is my little point of confusion here.
no one cares about Tim.
Well, no, but I mean, did he and his wife break up and she went to marry his brother?
I
No.
don't believe so.
Okay,
Yeah,
Why would you?
I don't know.
Oh, there was that whole bit with his when they're playing catch in the. Well, we'll get to it. Or
Yeah, it
he's
was
like,
like
I know between me and my brother, we know everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
who's your fucking brother? and what
Yeah,
does he
so I had to
figure
fill in
into
the
this movie?
blanks, and I was like,
who
"Is
is your
Tim
daddy
his
and what
brother?"
does he
No, yeah, it's just like, hey, this is a real person in the real world who has a brother. Whatever.
So
Oh, brought my back. I don't know where it is.
we hid it from you.
Oh, I hid it from me.
There you go. So he's watching his kids for a week or something.
Weekend.
Weekend.
And you're like, oh, it's a Spielberg film. There's kids in it that don't
Tension
need to be there
gone.
at all.
Tension gone.
And is that
and
point-
one of those kids is fucking Goku, which immediately
That
just
does
makes
not
me
help.
want him to die in the worst way.
But
He's done better things since.
yeah, I realized
Has
at
he?
this point I was like,
Not
this is a case of the wrong director for the movie because it's Spielberg, so there's going to be kids, but like there's no reason
In the
they
adult-
don't need to
in
be
the
here.
adult
And if
books.
they're
But
going to
also-
be here, they need to be like in like World War Z, where it's like, oh, I got to save my kids. They're gone now, so I can go do things.
Or just, I mean, a couple things here, but like, just strap the kid to your fucking back at this point, because like, she apparently can't do shit for herself.
Yeah, we got a little Dakota
for
Fanning
one-
here, and she's showing us how to do the safe space dance, and it's
Yeah,
great.
nothing against Dakota Fanning.
Or the safe
Fanning.
space.
I ain't got nothing against no Dakota Fanning either.
There's a reason this movie got her voted by the MTV Movie Awards the most useless thing to have in an apocalypse.
the most annoying screaming bitch child.
Yeah, she does nothing.
Yeah. So
But
at
that's-
one point she gets a sliver, and is
A
like,
splinter.
what's it? Yeah. So
Same thing.
train of thought derailed,
Either way, I'm like,
and she's like,
Yeah, that's not funny,
Dad,
is
I
it?
got a splinter. And he's like, well, let
Oh,
me
here,
get
let me
it
take
out.
it out for
She's
you.
like, no, it'll just push itself out.
I just
And I'm
wanted to
like,
tell you what was
you're going to
there.
die of gangrene, and I'm going to laugh.
This is where someone's like, oh, I see what you're doing. That's a metaphor for the movie where the thing will resolve itself.
Sure.
But fuck you, it's dumb.
I
just don't do
legitimately
anything
didn't
about the
know that.
genocide going on.
I
It'll
didn't
take
realize
care of
that
itself.
until you just mentioned it.
All right, honey. Well, you might get another sliver from the little baby's coffin I'm going to make for you now.
So, he goes. He has a game of catch with his son, who's just like, Dad, I hate you. Dad, I'm saying the worst thing I could think of to bother you. And then he flips out and throws
My
the
new
baseball
dad has a
through his
bigger
window.
dick.
Yeah, and you're like,
It's like throwing
you're
it
like,
really
War
hard
of the
against your
Worlds.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, which
Tim's
sorry,
dick is more girthy than yours, Dad.
and this is the weird thing because it
I can't even get
threw me
one
off the
hander on
story.
it.
It's gonna throw me off again. It is well. It makes no surprise. Spielberg movies with kids in it. It is kind of surprising that these kids are this shitty and useless.
Really?
Yeah, Spielberg's usually better with that. Like,
Well-
E.T. The kids did everything. Like that was the whole
If they
deal.
were actually
Jurassic
like,
Park, she hacked a computer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like
But
they're
Tim
getting
just
less.
sat there while the gun was. He could have just brought the. He could have just brought the
He
fucking.
bounced up and down, right?
Dude, that scene, like,
I don't.
if the kids
Tim
were
sucks. I'm not gonna argue that. All right.
if the kids were competent, though, you wouldn't believe that they were his children. So they got to match the parent who's
it was
just
that
as
little-
incompetent.
Well,
asshole
I mean,
turkey kid. He would've
first
got
of all,
the gun.
what? Oh, the turkey kid. Well, first of all, Robbie is like 6 inches taller than his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So there's questions already right there,
But his dad is
you aren't
6 inches
taller
longer
than
than
your
Robbie.
dad?
which makes him like normal
Yeah.
person height.
Yeah.
It's next to Tom Cruise.
Listen, some of us
forgot
get
the
by,
average
okay?
All right. Either way, okay,
We don't all
so
have to be tall.
Yeah,
Give me a
just-
chocolate.
Just a reminder: if you watch Shameless, he fucks Bulma.
oh, but you realize at this point you're like, we're going to be adventuring around with a trio named Ray, Rachel, and Robbie. Triple R. Woohoo.
yeah, it's definitely hard R.
Yeah.
See,
So
that would have bothered me more if I heard them say that instead
Yeah.
of just scream.
so they,
I don't even think I recognized that their names were all R.
This
This
is
is just
worse.
shouts.
This movie could be remade as a musical, just like
Nope.
death metal.
This movie should be remade with George Foreman and his children instead. George!
if at one point George Foreman dragon punches a tripod over, I'm down.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
I'm kind of in.
And then when the alien gets out, he sizzles his face on the grill.
He burns his foot. There's a protuberance.
Okay, so
And then Robbie in the background is going, "Come Sorry.
we go to sleep. Well, Tom
never
Cruise
does
goes
that.
to sleep. I wish I could go to sleep.
he's so pissed off he has to take a nap.
Yeah,
I did.
and then
That's why I watched this 4 times.
yeah, his son stole his car. His daughter's just farting around the house.
Just
They find
sucks.
out that Ukraine is under attack by severe lightning EMP blasts from Russia, and
Putin wishes.
yeah.
I'm going to summon my lightning.
Now we're part of the
Someone-
podcast where all of us shove peanut butter bars in our face.
Someone to rub my
Those are peanut butter?
thighs to
No,
create
it's
the
chocolate mousse. I
electric
thought it was
blast.
peanut butter.
Yeah,
That's why I went to eat it.
Oh,
I thought it was a bit more different than
So
it was.
what's your
But anyway.
problem with cream, Joe? Explain this.
No, I'm okay with cream. I'm not a huge fan of cream-filled cakey things when there could be like a peanut butter crispy thing. So like when I saw this bar, I thought it might be a Nutter Bar type construct, which I prefer.
So more nutty bars. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
next time
it's
I
not-
ask in the chat what kind of snacks you want, and you say
You're
the
gonna say
same
whatever.
kind is fine.
I'm not
Fucking give me a...
Rob, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I thought it was one thing that I like better.
But it's shit instead, and you hate it. I get it.
You're making that leap yourself. Anyway,
Rob,
My feeling.
I'm
about
just
her.
letting you know. I think this is hot garbage, and I'm not even going to bother to eat the
I don't
rest
care
of
what
it.
you think.
I know.
okay, so
Of course,
I just want to impress Daddy.
Tom Cruise goes outside, and there's a big old storm going out there. And they all go to their backyards, like him and his neighbors, to watch it. And they're like, "Why is the wind blowing
Like
towards
idiots.
the storm?" And
Yeah.
then Dakota Fanning's like, "We should probably go inside."
it's like the worst possible looking storm you can imagine. And they're like, "We're just like
In every sense.
we've
of the
never
phrase.
seen a storm, so we're just gonna stay here. It's like 2 blocks down the road, and we'll be fine." No,
It's like the size of a city block.
yeah,
Yeah, and like Gozer is about to
Mm-hmm.
like come.
Yeah, it's like, I would say it's roughly the size of those big ships in Independence Day.
yeah.
And
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's just that, but with, like somehow worse, like worse visuals.
so like lightning cracks onto the
10
ground,
rounds.
and so like Dakota Fanning screams, and he's like, "It's okay. Lightning won't strike the same place twice." And The Storm's
also
like,
not true. But
strike the same place twice. Don't mind if I do.
I'll do it 7 times.
And we do right in here. We get a like, look, it's just like 4th of July.
Yep.
Yeah.
Independence Day name drop. Like, come on.
Oh.
So Zeus is up at the top of this cloud, just heaving lightning bolts down on the streets of Boston.
He's dropping a deuce, dude.
You know, like he does.
He ate a Taco Bell last
58
night.
times.
No,
in
one of these tripods does take a shit pretty soon. Anyway, so what do you call it? Now the power's out, the phones are out,
And we have to go through the entire house
His
showing you
freaking-
everything that doesn't
His
work.
mechanical watch is out.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, no, it was probably running on batteries. It just had a mechanical face instead of a digital.
Yeah.
All right, so you know, EMPs were all the rage around this time. All the aliens are using them, and now, yeah, all the cars are shut down. So he's like, all right, I gotta go find Robbie. And we meet this guy Manny, the mechanic, and he's like, hey, I don't know how to do my job. I can't fix the car. The starter's all fried. And
How'd
Tom
it
Cruise
work?
is like, change the solenoid. And he's
I
like,
hit it with a hammer.
and like, oh, okay, that fixes everything.
True
And, like,
story. Hitting certain things in a car with a hammer will actually work.
What
the
about
mechanic
fixing-
actually showed up and did that.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
what about
some of them.
fixing the solenoid when an EMP has destroyed all the
Fuck
electronics?
is a samoflange?
Well,
Yeah.
so a solenoid is basically just a type of magnet.
magnet, yeah.
So if you hit it with a hammer, like legitimately, that
Yeah,
could
it-
potentially fix it.
It's a magnetic valve, but
or
like,
you could replace it and not be an ass.
well, your
Yeah.
your spares would probably be destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of
exactly,
the spare
yeah.
parts would also be no good.
Yeah.
If anything, the one in the car would probably be doing better than the spare. So at least it's surrounded by
yeah.
other metal. Either way, I don't. So this guy's like, hey, yeah, okay, it works. Now the car is good. And then,
Enjoy the only working vehicle in the tri-state area.
Speaking of,
Uh-oh.
yeah. so while they're playing ball, he's got a Yankees.
oh, yep,
This kid
True story, can vouch.
puts a Red Sox hat on.
yeah, that's standard son-father
yeah,
relationship.
Yeah, purely just to piss his dad off because
Yeah.
he hates his dad.
Trying to use some triangulation
So, yeah.
techniques.
So when the we haven't gotten to the things erupting from the
It's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so when the tripods are erupting from the streets and wreaking havoc and destroying the town that they're in, I'm like, have they even told us where they are? Nobody's. They mentioned that the mom and the stepdad are going to Boston, but
Yeah.
they haven't said where they are.
Yeah, I think you have to
So-
infer New York City.
So, well, you would
you would,
infer,
yeah.
you would.
That would be your
You
first
would.
thought.
But I was like, but
Nobody owns a car.
he's got a Yankees hat on. Mm-hmm. His kid chose Boston, so we know we're somewhere in the New England area.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All those assholes live.
And
Well, no. I mean, we're still in New York, not in New England.
Yeah.
Well,
Because New York
We
isn't
haven't
part of
crossed the
New England.
Hudson River yet.
Oh,
The Northeast.
yeah, we're somewhere in the northeast
Yep.
territory. At which point I'm like, all right, so it could be, maybe we're in Connecticut. It looks kind of like Connecticut, but then I was like, but all these people, they look like assholes. We must be in New Jersey. And then literally 5 seconds after I say that, he takes shelter behind a car with
well, the New
big
Jersey,
New Jersey license plate right there.
Brazzers cover over it.
Unlike in Connecticut, where only most of the people look like assholes.
Yeah, we're only 75% of us. Right?
And half of
Well, no-
those have New Jersey.
No, we're
plates.
all assholes, but not all of us look like assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, stealth assholes.
That's true.
Some of us has the dignity to decency to don a disguise.
This guy's our asshole.
Last time I went to Jersey, I stopped at the first exit on the Garden Parkway thingy. It was named after Edison, so I was like, we're off to a bad start. Stand in line for like 20 minutes for a freaking coffee. And I get cut off just before the person's about to take my order by somebody who I swear looks like Jerry Seinfeld's dad from the show. And then I get there and they're like, oh, we don't have decaf.
Yeah.
And I drove right through New Jersey and didn't stop for anything else.
Yeah, I mean that's standard practice in Jersey. You just
more
cut.
Desperate Tales of Woe from Brick. Tune in.
All right, so
More
now
first world problems.
Tom Cruise, right here, he goes heading down the street to the
Tours
spot where
puffy
lightning
jacket
hit,
in anger.
and you know, the
that.
pavement is ice cold from being hit by lightning, and you know, there's just a little crack in the pavement, and then everything starts shaking. It's destruction
Just a
time.
standard New Jersey pothole.
Yeah,
The bloomers.
um,
Yeah, they'll stand around like assholes. Just like what are we? It's a hole in the ground.
yes. So everything starts shaking. A church gets like sawed in half. You know, bricks are shooting out of buildings. Windows are smashing. You know, panic time. Everyone goes like running away, and we get our first.
I will argue a little with that just because these people did not panic nearly soon enough. Like they were still standing around as this fucking thing got up and like started doing stuff. I was like,
It wasn't.
what the
a good
fuck is
panic.
wrong with you?
It's New Jersey.
New Jersey.
I mean, like, you know, and as much as we're shitting on New Jersey right now, understand that
They shit on
it's
themselves.
pretty much the same here. We're all, you know, we're
Plus, I mean, the TV's out. What else are they gonna do?
just recognize real. They're a bunch of morons just standing there.
So
I was gonna say I feel like they had a relatively realistic response to, oh my gosh, aliens are there.
Yeah, we'll
Sort of, yeah.
we'll run 300 feet away and then stop and
Well,
stare
yeah,
at it.
yeah. They're also, you know, they gotta,
Get your Polaroid out.
they gotta
See-
get their TikTok video.
Well, yeah, that is the thing. Is like through most of this, there was a lot of moments where I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And then I'm like remembering, like pretty much anything you've seen on the news for the last month or so, and I'm like, "Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this might be what we would
Oh,
do."
there's a tsunami coming? Let me stop and record it with my cell phone.
Yeah.
A few years ago in Hartford, there was literally somebody hit by a car, dying in the street, and everybody was taking pictures or just walking by. Nobody called the cops.
the water left the beach. Let's go out into the low tide area.
Yeah.
It's not gonna come back.
No,
Finally.
we gotta chase it to bring it back.
Yeah.
Doth that be a Godzilla?
I'll bring a bucket.
So we now see the tripod here. We get like a 3-toed leg slams down, and then it rises up and lets out some bois. I know it's dusting like dirt, rocks, and pavement off of it, but it really looks like it just takes like a spray dump
Yeah,
here.
At one point, it just does,
Like-
drop a whole load right between its tripods.
Yeah, it shoots from the tri-crotch, and like it looks like it muck sprays.
Now, when Joe says tri-crotch, he means like the crotch area of the tripod, not that this thing has just a gigantic dick.
Well, it does.
It has several, but that's not why
It
we're
hasn't
calling
deployed
it.
them yet.
It's not why we're calling it a tripod, because it legitimately has 3 legs.
Yes.
But if this thing wanted to have 3 dicks, it has the crotch that would allow it. Because you could also have the asshole on the very bottom of the taint area, which would be like a flat.
You could, but this
surface.
thing has 2 assholes.
I'm the Akata cock.
It's got a lot of assholes. I'm just saying it has the potential to be a true tri-crotch.
Yeah,
And it is right now the crotch of a tripod, since we're arguing semantics.
it's got a real Medixa situation going on.
Yeah. All right. So either way, what do we think of this thing besides its crotch? Like,
It's
Is
obviously,
there anything else to discuss?
It's very obviously designed after the old.
yeah.
yeah,
Movie.
I kind of liked it though.
They capture it well enough with, you know, shitty graphics as they were. Like, you know, they capture the design elements well enough. I thought, honestly, like, the toes on the tripod legs look kind of goofy to me. Like, the big
The discs.
circular, the discs.
A little, but like I also felt that was very reminiscent of like that old style
Yeah.
thing they were going for.
It just looked a little silly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it was Kermit the Frog
So-
giant form just walking around.
I will say the little research that I did on the Wikipedias about the original book, the aliens from Martians, the Martians,
From Mars, yeah.
they were more or less like octopods. They were sea creatures, squiddy dudes. So the sticky feet on a tripod walker kind of makes sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying it looks
Yeah,
silly.
he's
Oh,
not
yes.
thrilled.
Okay.
It's not his
Purely
favorite.
aesthetic
That's fine.
Well, yeah,
on what
that's-
is ultimately just a shitty movie.
For me, I was more okay with most of it, but I didn't really have a problem until we get to the baskets that hangs from
yes,
its
it
ass.
does have
But-
just some just Walmart with wicker baskets.
so as far as like, you know, an intimidating like alien war machine, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It did
And-
have a good ominous glare to it.
It at this point they're like, I don't know if it's friendly or not. Probably not. But then
Nothing about that thing looks friendly.
it sticks its two arms out, and it's like, you all want some disintegration rays? And this part I thought was actually pretty cool because it's doing like it's shooting
This
its
part-
rays
This
around.
part was hilarious.
I was laughing my ass
It's
off.
turned
John
people
and I
to
both.
dust.
Yes,
Well, it turns
almost all people.
almost all people.
except for their pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It only
Pants
shoots people wearing pants.
Which
And that's all that's
inexplicably
left of them.
Just stay floating in the air. It was
Just trousers just
like
flapping around.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be in like a spoopy scene, but John and I are just laughing our tits off because it's just like a cloud of dust and people are getting vaporized, and it's just like confetti pants in the air.
just fluttering in the aftermath.
So
I will say that I did also find out that this was supposed to be a bit more nasty and so on, like with people not
But
just
there are
being
children.
immediately vaporized, but like basically wherever it hit vaporized, but the rest of you might remain. So and they had like later on you got to see a better view of it where people like had skin melting off and all this kind of shit, but then that was going to get an R rating. So
if I recall the original one, I think it was just a beam of intense heat.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
heat
probably
rays.
just like a
Yeah.
radioactive beam.
To the point where, you would essentially just all water and you vaporizes and your dust. So maybe it destroys your shirt because it hits you, in your back because you're running and it's coming from an upward angle.
I mean,
But it's so hot so fast that it leaves your pants alone because you're peeing them and pooping while you're dying.
yeah, it sterilizes your
Well,
clothes somehow, and
but
they're
then
nicely freshly ironed.
Your pants would be full of poop, and then they would just fall to the ground. They would
No, but the poop becomes dust.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
your
vapor.
pants.
Dust.
no, it's still he's right because it's your shirt, any hats, glasses, gloves,
I did not
socks,
see a single
shoes.
article of other clothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
just pants,
and
they don't just fall; they fly. They just you go whoop, and the pants go flying.
I got a question. What do we think of the aliens' plan of world domination?
It's not really domination; it's eradication.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
either way.
Straight genocide.
Right.
But for what and for why and for what?
Well, all right. So I'm just thinking, like, they got this thing. They got their little ship that came out of the ground. They got their little tripods, and they're they're zapping people pretty good. But I'm like, all right, we killed like 30 people. Only 7 billion more to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not like a.
I mean, they theoretically buried these war machines thousands of years ago before man had any record of them whatsoever.
Before New York City existed.
Yeah, perhaps before man even existed.
I guess that's what they're implying. Sure.
Certainly before the subway lines were drilled. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll get to
I
that.
mean, why would you wait until now to activate them?
Yeah.
The only reason I can think of is that they needed that much surplus human population for what we see them doing.
That's what I
later.
was thinking. This is some kind of Eternals like bullshit where they're like, oh yeah, we needed the population to be a certain point, so we had the resources to do whatever the fuck that was. I don't even. Did they actually
Please,
explain
Tony,
that?
it's a Jupiter ascending situation.
Oh, what?
They need
No.
to grow enough people to have their eternal life serum.
I'm a
Joe,
werewolf.
I believe it's a generic bullshit sci-fi movie
Indeed, that's
named
what I was
here.
getting at.
Yeah.
so
I'm sorry, you're half B.
I didn't read into the
Bees
details of
recognize
this,
royalty.
but in the book, apparently there are Martians, there are Earthlings, and there are Jovians.
Jovian.
Yeah,
And
they're
it's
pretty
the
fun.
Jovians
They're
who
happy.
are like,
Yeah, they're pretty fun.
and it's the Jovians who are like Martians, knock it off, and that's apparently what happens in the book. in
The
this
Jovians
movie,
tell the
The
Martians
that
Jovians
doesn't
just
make
tell
any
them to
sense.
stop. And
Well, they tell them to stop with better weapons, apparently. They're like, if you don't stop, we're going to eradicate you. And they're like, okay, Mom.
Yeah, they just put a gun to the back of your
Yeah,
head.
basically.
Put
So,
it down.
yeah.
Put it down.
But
I've never read the novelization,
There's some dumb stuff in there.
but
I'm pretty sure
apparently.
I got it somewhere in this house.
but I was always under the impression that it ended the same way that this movie.
I think it did to a certain extent because the infections wiped out a lot of the Martians who tried to invade, but then they ended up setting up shop under the ice caps. apparently.
Okay, whatever.
Again, this is paraphrasing. But
Cody's falling asleep.
Oh yeah, what was the Tomorrow War?
Why?
Yeah, okay.
Why are we calling upon the name of the Tomorrow War?
Another dumb sci-fi movie where I believe aliens were here first, but then waited for whatever. And
So there's
that
another
right?
there's another possible explanation that this is actually Magic the Gathering the movie. So all these aliens just put these little war machines down there so they could tap land and resources later when they needed it.
Gentlemen, we have to get through this, please.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise runs from a green screen
To the center.
and
Gets a face full of people.
yeah,
He
he is
a bag full of
covered in people dust.
Like, it's a comical amount of
Yeah.
people.
So when he comes home, I'm like, oh, he's covered in people, and his family's like, what's on you?
What's all over you, Dad?
It's
this is
whole
also
wheat flour.
The movie trope that I hate of, this scene where Tom Cruise, he goes, freaks out for a bit, has a little bathroom freak out, washes the dust off himself, and then will not answer the basic fucking question that his children are asking.
Well, I from my research, I did know this was going to be in there. Plus, just the timing. But this is when I was definitely reminded, like, oh right, this wasn't long after September 11th.
Yeah.
Like we're bringing up terrorists like
All right, but what if,
all the
what
time.
if Tom had just like turned to Dakota Fanning real quick as he's like running and he's like, "It's dirt, shut the fuck up." Like, what if he had just done that? Like,
Yeah. Say a building fell over.
yeah, like but
Onto me.
but he does the exact line. They use their one F bomb and just tuck it in there.
that would improve things, but it's not going to happen.
And maybe,
But yeah,
this
this-
shut Dakota Fanning up for the rest of the movie.
But again, I am with Joe, and like this pissed me because like if you don't know what to say, like how to properly explain this, especially in a short time, I get that. But sweet fucking God, you just went through the whole lightning thing. Be like, weather disaster. Where I was told we
Yeah,
need to leave.
we have to go.
That's all you need to say. Like
Yeah.
George is
just
having
something.
George just have him give her a face. Like, you fucking serious right now? Just like that face.
Or at least just be like, in an emergency, I'll explain in the car.
Exactly.
Fucking go.
Yeah, I'll explain on the way. Let's do the
Or
on
just,
the way.
or just like be all creepy. Like, you'll see.
So
I think actually, what would work better if it was just like, all right, never mind, you can stay. Fuck you. Just like took off.
Takes him out of his hair and just put it in her mouth.
they steal the van that they changed the solenoid on, and that worked. And
Yeah, they somehow stole
Yeah.
the one working car in the
And
entire.
Tom Cruise, we see he grabbed a gun. He
Also, a mechanic
His-
getting that shit done that quickly? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
his
Well, there
son
was only
grabbed the
one
box
solenoid.
of condiments. And
Condom.
yeah, and then they get in the van. Manny's like, "Hey, you can't steal this. This doesn't belong to you." And he's like, "Manny, get in the fucking van."
Or you're gonna die.
Yeah, Manny's. So at this point, Dakota Fanning's like, "I know it'll help." Start screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream uncontrollably
And
and as loud as you can,
They
please.
drive off because she's claustrophobic. Because she needs more flaws than just being a little girl in an alien attack.
Why?
So
Like genuinely surprised, not asthmatic.
So as they're driving away, Manny gets disintegrated. Rachel's screaming. They get on the highway.
Rachel's still screaming.
I'm like, fuck, just stop. Like Robbie calms her down with this safe space
By
thing
screaming at
where
her.
they have to do like a hand thing. and-
Everybody do your
The
safe
I
space.
Dream of Genie.
Okay, yeah, yep.
Dude.
How does this
It's not a safe space.
and how does this help if you're claustrophobic?
Makes you feel more claustrophobic.
Don't-
You're blocking
Yeah.
yourself
Don't think about it.
in.
All right.
But yeah, it was at this point. I don't have notes, but it was at this point I did note that like with all of them screaming, I was just like, "Holy shit! This is giving me Transformers flashbacks." Like, where's Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
So now,
Plane lands on their house.
well, yeah. So they get to their mom's house, and this was the first time where I just refused to watch a
right.
scene because, like, Tom Cruise is like, "I'm gonna make you all sandwiches," and I'm like, "I don't give a shit," and I just jammed on the plus 30 seconds
Here's the thing. Here's
until they were somewhere else.
Wow.
It was so rewarding, though.
when he fucking throws
Sorta.
out.
He fucking
Throws a piece of
slams
bread
that
out the
fucking
window.
bread on the window.
Now, all right. Here's what I don't
Why did he
understand.
do that?
Because he was pissed off at the kids. 'cause
Okay.
You mopey little
I can
fucks.
break it down for you. All right. So first he gets mad at Robbie because Robbie only packed condiments.
Yeah, I saw that part.
Robbie was like, "Fuck you. This is all you had."
Yeah.
crate
Two,
full of salad dressing.
He starts making a sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, and
For him
his
and
daughter
the two
reveals that she is allergic to peanuts.
All right, let me.
Then he gives her
allergic to
just 2
everything.
pieces of bread and says, "You'll just have bread." And then she's like, "I'm not hungry." And he's like, "Okay, we'll just have sandwiches."
and Robbie
Then
loves
Robbie's like, "I'm not hungry." And then he loses his shit and he peanut butters the window.
He has one piece of bread that is thoroughly slathered with
Like
peanut
5
butter,
pounds.
and it's like the crazy organic peanut butter. It's not like Skippy. It's that thick, gloopy, runny fucking.
The stuff that comes out of the tripod.
So,
later in the
A.
movie.
just fucking launches it into the kitchen window.
Okay, so
So I saw a peanut butter sandwich on a window. So at least I'm glad I skipped that.
You got the gist.
It's just a perfect like dad freak out.
So
of,
you're glad you skippied it?
Rob, continue.
no, I have questions that I desperately want to get out there.
Oh boy.
Well, okay, they're mad because they only brought condiments. Mm-hmm. They found peanut butter on the counter.
Yeah.
yeah, because they're in a kitchen.
Yeah,
They are in their kitchen.
Yes.
This is their house.
This is their
This
mommy.
little
They know
girl
what they have.
claims to be allergic to peanut butter,
Yep.
has peanut butter on the counter
Yep.
in their house.
Yep.
They don't know what to eat.
Yep.
They know where all the food is.
Yep.
It's their fucking house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we
They
saying
are their father's children.
Are we saying Fat Chat follows all around?
Yeah.
The whole
Oh,
house
yeah.
full
This
of
is
fat
a
chat
this is a
bubbles.
fat
Well,
chat.
I'm gonna give Tom Cruise a pass.
Well, I think
He is trying.
He is.
I still got a yellow card him for wasting food.
Yes.
But I
Yeah.
think the kids get red cards. Like, get
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck
Well,
out of
Kids,
here.
I think I'm gonna give a pass on his yellow card because in that situation I probably would have done the same thing or worse.
I would have
also-
slapped
would've
Robbie
rammed the
across
whole
the
thing in my
face.
face.
Yeah, I would have rammed into the little girl.
As much as I
scream
really
while
hate to
doing
say
it.
this, I have to give some leniency for the girl as well, Rachel, because like it is her house or whatever, but like she's a little kid and look at her, she's a spoiled little
No,
kid.
fuck
So she's
that. I
probably-
knew where the
first of all,
food
she's
was
probably
when I was her
lying.
age.
She's probably
She could
lying.
have, but
She probably just doesn't like peanut butter. She's lying about her
I don't know.
allergy. Otherwise, they wouldn't have peanut butter.
no, I think
Look
she's,
at Tim. He's the guy that would be like, if you're allergic, we're not gonna have peanuts anywhere.
She knows-
Don't make me be this guy. You're gonna make me be this guy.
Not you.
She's
We could just
allergic
move
to
on.
peanut butter, like how so many people were allergic to gluten for a while, and then they realized only certain people actually had the allergy, and other
Right, I'm
people were
saying
just shit.
she's lying.
She's not lying. She believes it. She's just
a hypochondriac.
wrong. Yeah.
She also has back problems. Don't forget.
Yeah. Yes, she claims to have back problems. I just.
She has
So-
arthritis.
All right, they go to sleep in the basement while somebody takes a stick and like a grip off screen is tapping the window with a stick.
Yeah, it's great. It's
And
a
then
really enjoyable time. to
Purple
watch.
light shows up and crazy sounds. I'm like, Prince is attacking the house. and, there's suddenly like it's turning into orange light and it's getting really loud. So they're like, we got to get away from the windows. So let's run to the boiler room that still has windows. But it's like that tunnel Independence Day where the fire can't figure out how to turn left.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot like it.
yeah, they
All we needed was Boomer.
yeah. So they survive, wake up the next morning. And
Damn it.
I like this shot. It's fucking absurd that the house they're still alive.
There's
Just
just
a
a
plane,
plane on the
crashed.
house.
Well, this,
Yeah, they would be bathed in jet fuel.
this is when we get the line. Are
Yep.
we still alive?
Oh yeah.
Nope.
So he go. I like the tracking shot as he goes up the stairs though, and you see it from his view, and then it zooms out into all the carnage of the plane crashing on the street. But like the plane it's like a 747. Like
It's really neatly together.
you're dead. You're
Yeah.
like
It's not really all that together because it's very definitely in half.
No. But I mean, like the parts of it are like
Oh, yeah.
neatly
Yeah.
organized. There's nothing
Yeah.
like
it's like
nothing's like a mile down that way.
Well, that
like
prop was a
someone-
rental, so
Oh, yeah.
someone took apart a Lego set and just put like the wing here and
Yeah.
the tail section there,
Yeah.
and
isn't that how tragedies
Yeah.
happen? They're
you know,
and also conveniently leave the truck intact and
It basically looked like the plane fell out of the sky with no forward momentum.
just
well, that's it. When you get EMP'd, you know,
He
because
just
your
dropped.
engines turn off,
He
you
just
just straight down. But you know, not nose first, just straight down.
Straight down.
Like
Pancake.
legit, that's what people thought were going to happen during Y2K. They were just going to fall out of the sky. And I'm like, that's not how wings work.
So movies like, we got to drop some exposition on you. I don't know, news crew. They're like, we get a pointless deaf guy for no reason. Like,
Who apparently can't talk either.
yeah, we spend a
No, he
minute
can
watching Tom Cruise try to talk to a deaf guy, and then just to meet like a different person that can talk to him.
Says he's deaf.
Yeah,
And then tell us why he's deaf.
yeah, and I'm
Sort
like,
of.
all right, so we're just wasting time.
Yep.
And, then the newswoman's like, all right, check this out. You know, here's the walkers fighting the army. And then here's, if you look at this shot with the lightning, during all the lightning bolts, some sort of pod came down and deployed the pilot into the ground, into these machines that were buried there.
Little space sperms.
And I'm like, okay, sure. And we learned that these things have shields that prevent them from being hit, which I would say is lazy writing, but that's how they were in the original. So I'm not going to fault them on that. And then they're like, all right, we got to go. There's all the exposition. Out. And yeah,
she's
well,
like-
they hear like a bah, so she's like, I gotta go.
Oh, yeah, she's like,
I heard a mountain
were you a
lion."
passenger in that plane? He's
Yeah.
like, no. Oh, too bad. It would have been a good
It would
story.
be a good story. That
Doesn't
shuts the
invite
door-
him at all.
Shuts the
Yeah.
door in his
Fuck
face.
you.
Never mind, like I was, in the basement when it crashed. Like,
Better pick that kid up. It's a long walk. Bye.
yeah.
Also, I don't know if you looked at that, but I don't think any of the passengers in that plane are still around.
And like
They were just pants.
the 1-2 punch of these
No,
kids.
that was all the dead bodies in the river when the girl goes.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-2 punch of these kids is awful because, like, whenever they do something good with one of the kids in a scene, the other one is fucking it up. Because, like, I like the part where he's like, okay, we have to get Rachel in the car, and she's going to freak out when she sees her house is destroyed and all the carnage, so I want to have her look at me, and I'm going to carry her. And that's fine. I thought that was pretty cool. And then Robbie's just like, I'm in the street. And then we have to yell for like 3 minutes about Robbie getting the fucking car.
Yeah.
And like we're just wasting time.
Yeah, the army refuses to pick him up because of Dragon Ball.
Yes. Yeah, they're like, we saw Dragon Ball. You're in. That's not
You
happening.
deserve to die if anyone.
Wow.
If I don't see anyone's pants floating in the wind.
All right. So now
It's
they
a little
drive
Robbie's.
off. They're talking about they got to head for Boston. They got to cross the Hudson somehow and then get through
Been up
Connecticut.
to Boston.
All right.
And-
So, like, am I wrong in
Yes.
this? Oh, all right. Well,
yeah.
let's
And
move
most
on.
things.
Continue.
Generally speaking, if some calamity happens, especially globally, that are attacking people, why would you go to a densely populated center?
So you can dump these two kids with their mom.
Yeah, get rid of the kids. Here you go.
All right.
Take them back.
Yeah. Like, Rob's not wrong, or Robbie is not wrong when he accuses his dad
Okay.
of that.
All right.
So,
Yeah. But when the aliens show up, weekend's over.
yeah. So now, Robbie has to be shitty and taunt his dad for not wanting to fight the aliens. And, it's like, what the hell is he going to do? Hit him with the minivan? Like,
You could have tried that.
yeah.
Replace their solenoids, Joe.
Well, he could replace the solenoid of something cooler and then hit the tripod with that. Anyway, so we have to have a bathroom break. He tells Dakota Fanning, like, stay where I can see you. And she's like, but then you'd be looking at
Yeah, are
me.
you fucking crazy?
Yeah. It's like, I can go run off to this river. And you see,
Way far away from you because safety. Fuck it.
you see one, like, dead body floating down the river. And it's fairly impactful seeing her face and whatnot. And then the movie's just like 50 dead bodies.
Yeah.
You're like, come on.
Here's
Like,
all the ones.
That was that whole plane full of people.
yeah.
They all fell in the river.
Just,
All but little Kevin McAllister, who was left at home that day.
so you can't help but, just, you're not going to have the reaction that they want, because you're just like, this is absurd, the amount of people suddenly washing down the river.
That's the next Home Alone movie.
Yeah, that will change it and make it all the better if it's Kevin McAllister going, "I made my family disappear," and then cut to that shot of all the bodies.
Like,
He does that little eyebrow.
if I were to be constructive criticizing here, if they did this and it was the Hudson,
Yeah.
okay, maybe a boat sank or
Just
something
shows-
like that.
Shows like a
But this is like a
composite
brook. Like
Yeah.
it's you could wade
not
across
gonna
this
Or
if you really
if just
wanted to.
one body went across, she stared at that,
Yeah.
and then she turned around, and another body washed up at her feet, and she freaks out. Done.
Yeah, done. Yeah,
Way,
exactly.
way more impactful scene.
Yep.
So anyway,
What if they were all in clown costumes?
then you taste their shoes.
By the way, I believe this shot was done in Connecticut, and
Or that just happens.
yeah,
What did they drive you into that shot?
but they also lost 2 of the bodies.
There were too many real bodies floating in New Jersey.
Possibly. But I feel like they had to contact.
Do you know what town
can
this
I-
was in?
I believe they said it was Windsor, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, then that
But
makes sense.
yeah, they had to contact local police and be like, "Yeah, if you find 2 bodies,
They're not real.
it's us."
Unless they are.
Sorry, well, yeah. Well, yeah,
So-
they're probably not real.
Yeah, if you
No.
find real ones, it wasn't ours. If
didn't
you
do-
find fake ones, those were ours.
Yeah.
So a big army convoy
that's right.
drives by Robbie, and he's trying to join. And I can only think of that part where Willow's trying to get rid of the baby, and like that Eric the Red's army is going by, and he's just like, "Out of the way, Peck," because the army's just like, "Fuck off, you little kid! Like we're just gonna run you over. I don't know what you're trying to do." And you know, Ray and Robbie have an argument about, you know, Ray not loving him and whatnot, and you're like,
we
I
haven't
don't
screamed for
care.
2 seconds.
And what you call it? So
I
now,
love how they're having this like family tryst right in front of the army because you know morale. It's good.
so they get in the van, and like Ray's like, I know what'll cheer him up. Why don't you drive, Robbie? Robbie's like, drive us right into a trap? Sure. So they're driving, and they reach the Hudson River Ferry.
Doesn't bother
Ray's
to wake
asleep.
his dad up until they're already surrounded by people.
Well, it took a little while to wake Tom Cruise up, but yeah, I would have stopped when I started seeing people, not just a whole fucking crowd of people. But anyway, they drive up to the ferry, and like people are swarming this thing like zombies. And I understand, you know, you want
the
a
car,
working car,
not the ferry.
Yeah.
They're doing.
Well,
the
they're
ferry
going to
that-
swarm the ferry
they'll
like
do that in a
zombies soon
moment,
too.
but, yeah.
So you're like, okay, sure, you know, I guess this is right, and it's a somewhat suspenseful scene as people, but like the point where people are like breaking through the windshield and like,
Well, I mean, if you look at like videos of Black Friday, it's pretty much
Yeah.
the same. People smashing the shit out of TVs because they want a TV.
But
Yeah, but,
well,
like-
is that the thing?
They want the TV.
Yeah,
This is like, where are you gonna go? You literally surrounded the car, and you know you can't put all of those people in there.
yeah,
Right.
No, yeah,
you will
that's.
literally have the same problem.
I feel
in
like
5 feet.
They're
Sure,
not thinking
they're not
about
thinking
that.
that.
But I feel
Yeah.
like with like Black
just
Friday
not
or something,
thinking.
they'll break the window, they'll trample people, like things will get destroyed, but not the thing they're after.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
trying to like tear.
Like
the
they,
car apart,
they
basically.
want this thing to still be working
Yeah.
when they get in there,
So-
and they are making that not be the case.
a fight breaks out. Like people start trying to pull Tom Cruise out. He's fighting people. Robbie's fighting people. Dakota Fanning's screaming her head off.
Somebody grabs his e-meter. It's just
Yeah, he pulls his pistol out and is like, "All right, everyone, you know, calm the fuck down." And a guy points a gun at him, tells him to drop the gun. He's like, "Take the van, just let me get my daughter." The guy's like, "Yeah, okay." And so
Now we start playing
I'm a nice
musical,
guy.
musical guns.
yeah.
so now he takes his daughter out. He's like, "All right, I guess we lost the van.
And
It
my
wasn't
gun."
mine anyway."
And I dropped the gun, and I'm not going to pick it
Yeah,
up.
some
'cause
other
why
guy
would I
picks
do
up the
that?
gun.
Oh yes, I got it.
And by the time they get in a diner, the other guy's like, "I'll shoot that guy that got the
Yeah.
you know, the van, because no one else is going to pick his gun up and shoot me."
Right, which is exactly what will probably happen.
I'll go.
And then it'll just be like that scene from The Happening where people are just picking the gun up and shooting themselves. And it's just going to be, you know, the next person will pick up the gun, the next person. And
Yeah, the car's moving like 5
Yeah, car's not going
inches,
anywhere.
and then somebody dies in it.
So they're in this
Wash,
diner.
rinse, repeat.
Anybody else like briefly wonder if some like hardcore veteran waitress is just gonna walk up and be like, "All right, what are you having?"
Well, I was like, why isn't that diner filled with people right now?
Well, there's that, but
Because it's raining out too.
We will, yeah, but I
They're all
get
trying
you're
to make
trying to
that
get to
next
the ferry.
ferry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you don't want to piss about.
Ferry
it.
that
would-
moves
this
slower
place
than you
would
do
be
walking.
filled with people. So anyway, Tom Cruise has a good cry in a booth, and then
which Ukraine booth?
Yeah, they start walking, and they're walking towards the ferry, and everyone has to stop because the railroad crossing comes down, and it's going off the rails on the crazy train. Is
Like, this is probably my favorite scene, only because of the concept of this. Mm-hmm. Like,
So silly.
it's silly, and I was looking at that and I was like, okay, hold on, brain, you can figure this out. Why would this be happening? And I was like, okay, if the train's on
Zapped
fire,
everybody in the train.
it would actually have momentum and it would actually continue to go.
What?
So I could see this being plausible, sort of. I found an excuse.
Somebody's
yeah,
got
well,
to start talking.
if they shot the conductor, and destroy the engine, it could
His
still
pants
just
can't
go
drive
for a
the
while.
train.
Yeah.
Yeah. His pants landed on the lever.
Slow it down.
I mean, I would argue the bigger problem would be like it would have to be a fairly straight line to still be going and not go off the tracks at that rate. Which I imagine you don't.
If
find
you're
too
if
often.
you're looking at the Hudson, that line is, if I remember right, it is fairly straight. That one goes along the Hudson. It doesn't have a lot of curves. It might actually be coming down off of the Adirondack Dome, so it might even be going downhill mostly.
Either way,
The train is blazing
Yeah.
on fire as it goes by.
and everyone's just like, okay,
I mean,
We've
just-
seen
Wow.
some
yeah.
shit.
they're just so shell shocked at this point.
Somebody comes up behind Tom Cruise and goes, "Did you catch the number of that engine? I missed it."
No, I was looking at the phone number spray painted on that cow.
that's better than a couple minutes later when they're
think there was
walking
a
in the
horse.
tunnel and the voice goes, Winston.
And that horse is a lady of the night.
Oh,
So now
That girl was her pimp.
we meet Ray's friend Cheryl at the docks for the ferry, and we're like, why are we
Who's-
introducing
who's
this
Cheryl?
character?
Like you can't hear what the dialogue
Yeah.
is. Everybody's just screaming, and it's raining.
The movie's
Ray,
like, don't
is that
worry,
you?
we'll get rid of her.
And
real
yeah, we
quick.
got this dumb lady coming. I'm just like,
well, I mean, you're at a ferry. You've got to meet somebody you don't expect. What did you want them to meet? Like Ryder?
I didn't
in
need
the
to see
dark,
it.
I wanted them
corner
to,
of a tavern.
maybe just get on the fucking ferry instead
Right.
of wasting time.
yeah.
Oh,
I know they're trying to. I mean, maybe this also connects more to the book or the original radio play or something, but they're trying to make you feel for the people that are going to be left behind. But they do it by being like, here's a person that, and now you know them, but you don't really.
Yeah.
We're now leaving them behind. Do you feel bad for them? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not. I'm still trying to process who the fuck they are.
Didn't need to meet one of them to understand their plight.
it's
Yeah.
a Deus Ex
So-
not machina.
Yeah, you know what? Just when you get on the boat, like look back at somebody, cradling their child and crying. I'll get it.
Just to
Laying on a door.
speed through this, they're like, the military's like, don't get on the ferry, and Tom Cruise is like, let me on the ferry. They're like, okay.
There's
And
only
then-
3 people. I mean 5 people. I mean
Yeah.
20 people. I mean,
So
It's only like a city or two.
they get on
yeah,
the
that
ferry.
shit-
Cheryl's doesn't, and then they're going along. The fucking walker thing, the tripod shows up again. Some birds are like, hey, look at this tripod, and then
sit on it.
so the ferry pulls off, without being fully loaded, rips the line right off the post on the dock, and then they're driving away. And
Pulls
this
the posts and clotheslines a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
of people in the crowd.
there's a big old whirlpool now because there's a tripod just chilling under the water. He's like, "You trying to run from me?" And he like just flips the boat over like a table.
Don't rock the boat.
Yeah, he rocks the boat.
And flips
And
the boat over.
yeah, so the whole family falls in the water, and the 3 R's get hit by a car underwater, and then start like swimming away, and they just swim across the Hudson like it ain't no thing. It's the fucking Hudson. Like,
They don't just swim across the Hudson. They swim like diagonally because when they're
Yeah.
on the other side, they're looking at this train wreck going, well, not the train wreck, but all the walkers, and they are way off in the distance.
Well, that's what. If you're forced to cross a big ass river, that's what you do. You swim with the current and
Yeah.
you cross downstream from where you start.
But
but
yeah,
by the
good
way,
point.
the Hudson River, like, just it's a It's the fucking Hudson. You're not swimming. Like, you need to be like a professional athlete to swim across that thing. I mean,
Rachel's got this.
maybe you got some adrenaline because, you're you're in mortal danger, but that ferry didn't get very far.
Well, they just built a raft of other dead people.
That's
in the
okay.
water.
Yeah, there's so many bodies in there. They just hung on to them. That's checks out. Never mind.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
doing-
actually,
doing-
Dad, I
Yeah.
can just kinda stand up.
That's
and-
why there were so many bodies in the river. That was from the last ferry.
Yeah, we can just stand up. There's a whole pile of bodies under us. It's fine.
but now the tripods are climbing in your windows, snatching people up.
Yeah, they're on this side of the river because they're like, we could just walk across the fucking thing, and then they're like disintegrating people on this side. So now they're running away, and what the hell are we? This is when whatchamacallit, it's raining clothes in a
I was
forest.
gonna say, did we get to the part
Yeah,
where it's
that's
raining
not,
pants?
It's not
again?
raining clothes, Joe.
Just pants.
Raining
Just
pants.
pants.
Hallelujah! It's raining pants.
So,
So
It's raining pants.
So they walk through the forest of raining pants, and then they reach like they pass by this one house, and then the military's just like, this is it, this is the battle line, we're gonna fight these tripods here. And Robbie's like, this is it, I have to see this, I gotta go.
Now, mind you, all of the civilians are also headed towards the
A lot of
battle
them are,
zone
yeah.
because they're like, I don't know, we're just gonna walk to the tripods. They're just
Well,
gonna find us
A
anyway.
whole bunch of them were just as misguided as Robbie. They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna
mean,
see
some of
our
them-
guys fuck these guys up.
Some of them were going over the hill, but you look at the general trajectory of the crowd. It wasn't like the opposite direction. They were at worst they were going parallel to it. They were still headed in the direction of
Yeah,
death.
it's a bit odd, but
Yeah.
guys, I think I solved this movie. I solved it. This was all set up by Brainiac. That's why those tripods look kind of like Brainiac.
He needs a good pair of pants.
He just wants some pants, a decent pair of pants. He will destroy everyone in the world to get them.
Solomon Grundy want pants too.
There you go. You're gonna need extras. Solved. Thanks, everybody. You're welcome for this 20-year-old meme.
That was a
See you
great
next
Cartoon
time.
Network commercial, though. Anyway, so what'd you call it? So Ray leaves Rachel by a tree. He's just like, just wait here.
Yeah.
And then runs off.
try
to
Gotta
to
try
go
to
get your idiot brother.
Try not to fuck anything up.
And Robbie's is basically
but that's
like,
all I
Dad,
do, Dad.
I have to see this. Ray's like, I love you. Don't go. And he's like, Dad, I have to.
Don't kiss me.
And he's like, I'm bigger than you. You're not going to be able to drag me away from this. Go see Rachel. And at this point, another family's like trying to take Rachel because it's just a girl standing by a tree.
Yeah.
Yup.
Somebody's concerned for this little girl.
Yeah. So fucking
Actual
So-
responsible parents.
Also, again, do we know, like, what was Robbie's hope? Robbie, sorry. What was Robbie's hope?
I have no way of understanding or explaining this.
Okay. As long as I'm not alone in
So-
that. Because it's just like, he doesn't seem like he wants to join the military. He doesn't seem like he wants to fight. He just wants to be on the front line.
He had a rage boner and he
Yes.
wanted to whack off while watching the military guys beat the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was I could have told you those would be terrible.
It's pineapple jalapeno. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Impromptu.
Brick will like them, but
Bad.
they're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad.
I mean, by
got-
comparison, is it this bad?
I got pineapple jalapeno Doritos. So far, they're not.
I love pineapple. Pineapple's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Witness.
And no, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know why they have to be that spicy.
Yeah, I've been told that is beyond jalapeno spicy.
It is.
But it's also
Not by a lot, but
it doesn't really taste like pineapple.
yeah.
But
it just tastes old.
yeah, well, that's
No,
my
that
problem with
thing
jalapeno. If when you add that to anything, then that's all you taste.
Yeah.
Is the jalapeno. Well,
Yeah.
that and the death I will feel in my chest after the fact when my
That's got to have
Possibly-
cilantro or something.
possibly
It tastes
when
like
you-
soap.
it smells like shit.
Possibly when you poop
Yeah.
tomorrow, you'll get some of the burn too.
That's a really weird. Like
Not even
That's-
Brick likes
that
it.
tastes.
Sorry, Doritos.
That
You done
tastes
goofed.
like shampoo. Like there's, I think there might be cilantro in there,
Oh,
or at
I'm-
least the flavor of cilantro.
Yeah, I'm
sure
certain.
it's probably part of the other spices that they've put in there.
So,
but-
The bag I noticed is solid black. Is that to warn you what your shit's gonna look like tomorrow?
Yeah, well, as your
I don't know.
digestive tract bleeds,
I just saw the flavor. I didn't really look at the.
The wall of your intestines.
We got over there?
caves in.
it turns
Got a
your
Hidden
shit
Valley
black.
bugle of.
Natural and artificial flavors, jalapeno pepper.
Rick, these
So
are
who
not all
knows
yours.
what's in there?
I
These
wanted
are
to
not
know
all
what they
yours.
tasted like.
Bugles came to the rescue with Cool Ranch. Just adding Cool Ranch to your chip is generally a good formula for success.
So,
And it
so yeah,
continues
Rob,
with
you
this.
want to make good use of these. Put them through your blender to turn them into a nice powder,
They'll keep rodents away.
and then put it around your yard to keep the
They probably will.
groundhogs away.
These are bad. Sorry, Doritos.
I mean, I'll finish them. If they're
Now
gonna go
these-
to
Even
the
then, would it salt the earth though?
I don't think there's enough salt
Oh,
in there to really
Okay.
do that.
Solid Black is an ongoing initiative from Doritos to provide resources and a platform for black change makers who use innovation and boldness to drive culture and give back to their communities.
Garbage flavors.
Also buzzwords. Yeah, you done goofed this time, Doritos.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm-
use your white guilt to sell this shitty product.
I'm gonna take
Thank
take,
you
like,
for your thoughts, but
a handful more because I'm stupid, and then pass it on down to the garbage disposal. down there.
Now, the Hidden Valley Ranch Bugles.
He'll probably enjoy them
I'll
more than I
I'll
will.
try again. Because
try
I don't
it.
remember hating them. I remember being disappointed when I tried those on a lunch break.
I will
Oh,
tell
recently?
you, eating the bugles after these Doritos,
Oh,
really weird combo. It's like night and day, and it takes you a while to like change the channel so you can understand what you're
But
even
makes you
tasting.
appreciate the bugles so much more.
Gentlemen,
Yeah, this idiot's about to die. Let's.
it's time for Tim Robbins. So he leaves Robbie, and Robbie's gone for the next like 95% of the picture. And you're like, good. We can focus on one kid.
No, you only
We
have
might
one
actually have some effective scenes.
But you're also like, oh, this is the one that screams all the time.
But so now they're go running away. He gets Rachel back from that family that was trying to help her, and then they're the only two people that see Tim Robbins waving a shotgun from his basement.
Well, they're the only ones that walk towards.
Yeah.
Tim
Yeah,
Robbins.
everybody else was like,
yeah,
oh, I
everybody
know
else
where
is
that's
like,
going.
yeah, man waving a shotgun. I'll be over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I'll be
But-
here with the aliens. Thanks.
Yeah, I want to know why they thought that one white house by itself in the middle of this war zone is somehow going to be standing and be a good place to take shelter. Like
Wallingford.
the tripods won't immediately move there and start fucking around with it, which they do.
No, it's Wallingford.
So, but Wallingford, you get free electricity though,
Oh, yeah.
a reduced rate electricity. So you at least
Maybe
get-
that's why they thought that the solar panels would be immune.
All right, guys.
So-
this is a little too inside baseball.
Anyway, all right. So now we meet, like right when you get in the basement, you're like, oh shit, that's Tim Robbins. He's playing Harlan Ogilvy, and
Because of course he is.
and so you're like, oh, he's got to be crazy. Right now, we're like, all right, maybe it's a nice Tim Robbins. It's gonna be a crazy Tim Robbins.
Yeah, it's good.
As soon as they get downstairs,
Yeah.
he gives you this long stare of like, you're right. You don't know how crazy I am yet,
Yeah.
but you're right.
So he tucks Rachel in.
Hint: I was in the basement of a barn house with a shotgun.
Yeah.
No way this is ending well.
And unlike Gary Busey, my teeth don't immediately give me away that I'm, a crazy person who you're gonna have to murder later. So,
I told you two teeth to stop screaming.
so after he tucks Rachel in, he goes to talk to Harlan here, who's sharpening his shovel, just looking
you
through
do.
a hole in the wall in the basement. And Harlan's like, all right,
Too big to have sex with now.
here's the thing. We'll stay under here. We'll come up. We'll take him by surprise. I got a shotgun. I don't have any shells in it yet for some fucking reason. And
Safety first, Joe.
yeah, I got a sharp shovel. We'll take him out. And
That's the only sharp tool
Yeah.
in this shed.
so now,
Yeah, that's again. I gotta like, what's the plan? What's the play? What are we thinking? Because he's like, well, we're gonna raise an army to strike them from below.
We are
Like,
the
just-
No, he said we are the resistance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, eventually
The
he
three
did,
of
but
them.
he
We're
was
gonna
saying
dig that tunnel to Boston.
again, you're getting ahead. But at this point, he's saying we're gonna start an army, but it's him, this other guy, and this complete useless sack of
Tony,
curds.
you don't want me to answer that.
He's a classic step 1, do the thing. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit plan.
Yeah.
He's going to build an army.
She's there to breed the next generation of the army.
I think we're
Salvation Army?
finished
What?
it for Rob.
I know what John said.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, it's not going to be
I
long
mean-
before he kills Tom Cruise and
Yeah, no,
changes
that's
Dakota
right.
Fanning up.
I know.
No.
I made jokes about that
As
while
he
watching
says,
this too.
if something happens to your daddy, don't worry. I'll
Oh,
take
yeah.
care of it.
Oh yeah,
And Tom Cruise is immediately like, if you need to talk to somebody, you talk to me. You have no words for her. He's like, I don't need
Sir,
words.
I'd like to just ask for her hand in marriage.
but just in general, like he watched, a yard away in his own literal backyard, the army fight these things and do nothing. And he's like, "Oh no, it's cool. I sharpened my shovel. I got him."
They didn't try the immense power of inbreeding.
The Wallingford militia.
Yeah. So
I don't think his plan was like 8 generations from now.
You never know.
So we see now that the walkers are spraying
plus
this blood creep kind of red stuff everywhere, and we
It's the upside down.
yeah, and then we see that it's tentacle time. 2005 CGI tentacle with a camera on it comes in the house.
No.
What
2001 CGI.
movie's made in 2005?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It was some shitty CGI.
It's bad. Yeah. So the CGI comes in. It's clearly not there. It's chasing them around the basement. This is semi-suspenseful
Yeah, it is voiced by Pee Wee Herman.
till they fool it with a mirror, which it should just immediately be like, that wasn't there before. Why am I seeing myself all of a sudden? And then it sees like a foot slide out from behind the mirror because Dakota Fanning fucks it up. So that they teleport out of there, just leave a boot somehow. They do like a Naruto, ninja switch kind of move.
Sees himself as a Quidditch champion.
Yeah, which by the way, Jesus, that means Dakota Fanning can't sit quietly behind a mirror for like 3 seconds without making noise.
Yeah.
But she can take her boot off and disappear without making any noise somehow.
Somehow.
So
Tom Cruise can take his shoe off.
Okay.
tentacle
She can
leaves.
only roll a 1 or a 20,
He can move silently now because he has murder in his heart.
but she's rolling that on a coin, and it's weighted to the 1.
So
No, yeah, she is rolling a 20-sided die, but it has 120 and the rest are all ones because
Yeah,
she's
that.
she's done like 2 things in this movie, and then the rest has just been shit.
So now the tentacle leaves, and we see the aliens show up, and it's time for disappointment on numerous levels. Besides the fact that these things are Independence Days with an extra leg.
Yeah, did you ever wonder what it would be like if the aliens
Extra
from
leg.
Independence Day started banging Mac and me's?
Mac and
so
you.
It's no big spoiler to say that the aliens lose because they didn't plan on our microbes and our diseases and whatnot, and that takes them out. Which I always thought was a fucking bullshit ending till you see that they're just walking around naked. And I'm like, they just never invented the HEV suit? Did they not have where they come from? Did they not have like microbes or?
They've only been studying and watching us for eons. They wouldn't know that we have, viruses and shit.
See, this is what happens when an advanced civilization has intellectual stagnation. They had all this technology, didn't think that they were going to have any problems with an opponent, failed to invent ground-penetrating radar, thermal optics, any of that shit, or clothes, even though they make it rain from the sky on this planet.
To be fair, they also apparently have interstellar or intergalactic travel and everything,
Yeah.
but don't know what a wheel is. So
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to get to.
Yeah.
So, according to what I saw on Wikipedia, in the original book, this alien civilization had skipped the wheel.
Yeah.
Just
It was,
jumped over that part of the tech
it was
tree.
theorized, at least. Wow. That's what happened, yes.
According to the book.
There's just no wheel.
Okay.
Because when that's referenced by when he spins the bike wheel and he's kind of attracted to that and the bike falls over at him. And just like that, sure, that makes no fucking sense, but sure. So anyway, they're I guess the microbe thing checks out because no one's even wearing like a face mask or anything or respirator. At least the Independence Day aliens had a biosuit they were wearing.
And they're drinking water like straight out of drainage pipe.
Well, this is, this is where I was asking, like,
It's like they belong in New Jersey app.
this is where I was asking, like, if diseases took them down, how did they not die immediately in this basement? 'Cause
They
this
would've-
is gross as shit.
They would have eaten that 10-year-old Twinkie.
Yes.
Just pounded that thing.
Yep.
So
I'm so glad I didn't bite into that.
Yeah.
Just took a little piece.
So
of it.
Harlan's like, I'm going to put a shell in my shotgun now. Tom Cruise is like, your gun was unloaded this whole time. And then
Why haven't I killed you already?
him and Ray have a silent struggle. And you run into the problem you have, well, one of the many problems you have whenever you have Tom Cruise in movies. You realize, like, Tim Robbins is a fairly large guy, but you never see him as, like, an intimidating physical presence. And he's got, like, a foot on Tom Cruise. And you see when they're struggling for the
Foot and a
shotgun,
half.
you're like, he's got like 100 pounds on him.
He's much larger.
You're like, you're gonna get housed by Tim Robbins.
Before they have this quiet battle, though, I do like that Robbins put his shotgun through like a slit in wood or something. And then he you don't get the explanation yet, but he jiggles it all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is he using it as a periscope? Like, what the fuck is he doing?
And then it slowly retracts
Yeah.
back from the hole.
Yeah, and it's very reminiscent of the tentacle thing that we just saw coming down from above. But anyway,
Tom Cruise was tickling.
So,
I won't tell you where.
Ray and Harlan are having a silent, pushing match over a shotgun while the aliens are losing a fight to a bicycle. They leave, and then
because mom called them home.
they leave right at the point where Harlan has pried the shotgun out of Ray's arms, and then there's a blah for them to go home.
Yeah, street lights
So they
came
do.
on. I had to go home.
Yeah, and
It's Prince Spaghetti Man.
That's where
Now-
he was like, you and me, I don't think we're on the same page. Like, you
that is
just
correct.
caught on to that. Good job.
so now we see the tripods are just pissing out blood, just spraying it everywhere with their little tendrily dicks, and then the blood's forming this creep that's like growing in the house. And
My
then
anus is bleeding.
there's just a random guy's been outside the whole time, so they watch the thing like slams him on the ground, and then like one of the tripod tendrily arms has a needle in it, and they like drink that dude. And Harlan, at this point, he's like, nope, there's no
my blood.
semblance of
Not my
crazy,
blood.
I mean of sanity
Oh,
left.
my blood.
Yeah, he fails his brake test and runs and decides to dig a tunnel to Boston, I guess. He's just going to get a tunnel to somewhere, to the city where they're already digging tunnels.
That's what Andy Dufresne knows best, is
yeah,
digging tunnels.
That's true, yeah.
And to be clear, they just crossed the Hudson, so this would have implied he'd be digging a tunnel through Connecticut.
He's singing Diggy Diggy Hole.
He just said the city, and he's like, they're going to be digging tunnels there. We'll just live
of course.
underground like Jamiroquai. It's fine. So, and then,
Wait, does he really
That
live
would be pretty
underground?
rad.
what's that?
Does he really live underground?
The
Is that
future's
because he's
made
homeless?
of virtual insanity.
Yeah, it's underground.
But
Everything knows.
is that but just like because he's homeless now?
Yeah, that's what it takes so we can move on to the next
You're
topic.
under
Yes.
the ground.
What?
Now then, move on.
Tremors. So anyway, so Ray's like, "Hey, I don't think this tunnel idea is a good one."
Also,
and Harlan's
stop
like, "Shut up,
yelling."
bonk!" He hits him with a shovel.
Game on!
So I do like this scene because Ray takes Rachel and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna blindfold you. Do not take this off. Just keep singing your favorite song. I'm just gonna go in the other room and beat Harlan to
Murder
death."
this man. Murder this man who took us in.
Yeah,
Somehow, quiet, so quiet, wasn't a pin drop.
It's funny too because
well, because they're singing "Drowned It Out."
yeah, when he goes in there,
Well,
and he's just standing there, and Harlan just like has a spidey sense moment, and he's just like, "Uh-oh,
Fight to the death. aren't
I'm
we?
gonna
No.
die now."
Now, this is a man that is at least a foot taller than Tom Cruise.
A foot wider
Has-
than Tom.
Yeah,
Cruise,
has at least 60 pounds on
Yeah,
him, probably,
easily.
if not more. He is holding a sharpened shovel and has a large hunting knife on his belt, amongst some other tools that we never really get a clear look at.
and he's a cop.
He was a EMT. He was an
Did they have
He
badges?
drove aliens.
he was
Yeah.
an ambulance driver.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know they had badges. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The only thing I could think of, John, is that he's been trying to dig a tunnel ferociously, and he's just talking
Just completely worn out. I guess.
Or Tom
is
Cruise
Ethan
grabbed
Hunt.
his knife off his
Yeah.
belt and stabbed the shit out of him.
Yeah,
while
Tom-
his back was turned.
Tom Cruise is at least an intense man when he gets going.
I will say that is the one big problem I have with the scene Brick brought up, where he seems to have spidey sense, like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Because like it'd be one thing if we just saw him come up behind, and then close the door, and then it's like whatever happened. But it's like there's no way he took this guy. I mean, it's hard enough to believe he took this guy out, but without making any noise. Like
He does. it-
So the noise is the
does
lack
it
of
quick
noise
enough
is a
that she only
metaphor
has-
because of her singing. It's drowning
But
it
they
out for
don't-
her, so it's drowning it out for us.
yeah, but they don't like the sound design doesn't make me feel like we're in her head. Like
We should just-
drowning
It
it out.
It did it for me.
We should hear her singing, and that's all we should hear.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it should,
Well,
like
you hear-
ideally they would have it be a bit
You hear
muffled,
that
so
and
it's
like
her,
some
you know.
background noise, but you don't hear the fight. Yeah.
Also,
You
Either
should
way,
see like the door shake and some dust come off.
I like this better than them trying to choreograph a fight between Tom Cruise and Tim Robbins.
Oh yeah,
And like I liked this scene
Because like as tired as I would be from trying to dig a tunnel,
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's
that's
like
still
me
beat.
versus a 10-year-old.
yeah.
but maybe it would have been better if like they instead of like using a crane in the beginning, he was like doing something more physical,
yeah.
like in construction. So like you could see jacked or whatever. I don't know.
So either way,
Yeah, well,
But they immediately take his shirt off when he gets home.
No, he has his shirt off during the scene.
This scene? I don't think he has.
No,
it
he
off.
would. I'm saying.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
Like,
whoa,
yeah,
yeah,
in
yeah.
this, hypothetical.
No, I'm just saying that I would have preferred like when you're hearing the singer or whatever, like you said, like you just see like the door shaking, some dust, and maybe hear like the a light scuffle and maybe a little.
I did like that in
something.
this movie we see Tom Cruise with as close to a dad bod as I think we've ever seen him have on film.
so
His thetan levels are off the charts, though, so he's gonna defeat Tim Robbins.
there's a semi-suspenseful moment where you're like, I don't expect Tim Robbins is gonna survive this encounter, but maybe he just beats Tom Cruise's ass and comes out to like mess with Dakota Fanning, and then Tom Cruise has to come out and save her. So you're like, I don't know legitimately who won. So I thought it was fairly suspenseful to see who was going to come out and like.
Spoiler alert: we lost.
Bottom line, Tom Cruise won. Harlan's dead, probably buried in his tunnel he tried to
Oh
dig.
yeah,
And then
absolutely.
he's like, all right, honey, let's just go to bed. Dad's tired. He just beat a man to death.
Don't look in the hole.
And then it's immediately Tentacle Time Part 2. And Rachel fucking
Screams.
decides to be useless, just runs out the house, hides from only Ray, and then a tripod shows up because Ray's screaming for Rachel. And it's like, I'm not Rachel, but I'll be your Rachel.
And she goes, "No, I'm Rachel."
Yeah, so
I'll stand on a hill.
grabs her with a tentacle. She just goes catatonic.
Screams first.
Yeah. Then goes catatonic. Brick's eating bugles with a fucking chopstick. And
Doritos, Joe. The
cats and
bugles are over
dogs.
there.
He's eating the gross Doritos with fucking chopsticks.
Terrible spicy pineapple.
Presumably not to get any on his fingers. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I got tired of licking my fingers.
And so now we just get some bullshit. So Tom Cruise is like, well, you got to pick me up, but let me go run over to this Humvee and get some hand grenades first. He throws one of those at the tripod. Tripod's like, bitch, I got a shield. I got tentacles. I'm going to grab you. And, picks him up, puts him in this man basket where there's just some other people in there.
Oh,
And
the
it's
aliens are Krampus.
Kind of. Yeah.
so it's got a trunk butt. that like comes down and like out of this orifice, another robo tentacle comes.
It's a
and
proboscis.
grabs a person and pulls it in, and that's liquefying those people and spraying that around to make
You
its
don't know what's happening
blood
there.
creep. I'm assuming it's
It's orgies.
They're getting
It's-
thoroughly probed and
Yeah.
then liquefied.
Yeah,
Then-
some
yeah.
form of this shit.
so that they can grow whatever this thing is to be more like the planet they came from.
Which,
Whatever.
Did we ever get confirmation or any kind of more thing of that or?
Don't care.
Which part?
Don't know, don't care.
They were-
Yeah, because it seems to just suck blood out of things. It sprays it everywhere. The blood
So-
then somehow turns into roots.
Interestingly enough,
Something.
that is actually part of the book that the Martians
I believe it.
only they like effectively have no digestive system, so they have to drink the blood of things and put it directly into their circulatory.
But then why aren't they doing that? They're not drinking it. They're spraying it out and making roots.
Because it's
That's
cool.
that's blood flowers.
Yeah, presumably, I
They're
guess.
terraforming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
With blood, apparently.
what?
Yeah. Either
So they
way,
get the
You
blood.
said they can't eat. They need to drink blood. So their plan is to drain
Tony, they
people
never
of blood,
invented the wheel.
It's Morbin time.
drain people of their blood, spread it on the ground so it forms roots. Those roots will form blood flowers, which they will then drink from
No,
the
no,
blood
no,
from.
no.
They become
the blood
the blood.
flowers
They
are not for
become the
drinking.
Blood Panther.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
Yeah, I don't.
This is fucking
Yeah,
Yeah.
The tiger blood roots, Tony.
The only thing it effectively explains is why they're here and they're killing people and why they waited for the planet to be full of people.
but it,
Either way-
yeah, it doesn't even do that well. But anyway,
Well,
just
you can infer. So anyway,
Because somebody
fucking
at some meeting just
the
was like,
tentacle comes out. Rachel's completely catatonic. Tom Cruise should have just been like, "Good, now I'll just carry you, and I don't have to worry about you fucking it up anymore."
he should have done that back in the field with
Yeah.
Robbie.
Honestly-
Be like, oh, that looks like a nice couple. Go.
Yeah.
Just go.
I mean, honestly, she should have been in a papoose at this point and like completely bound with just like maybe a trap door so she could poop out it and he'd be carrying her on his back. So anyway, because she's fucking
gag.
useless.
With a
But
gag.
anyway, so like,
Nothing against Dakota Fanning.
yeah, no, not Dakota Fanning's fine. This character is terrible.
Sir, is your backpack shit?
Your backpack.
What if it is? What are you gonna do about it?
Something leaking out of your backpack, sir.
So,
You know my-
sir, is your backpack screaming its head off?
What is it,
And shitting itself.
Actually, there should be a trapdoor on this face part too, so when she gets
Or
screaming.
just a fucking ball gag in there.
it's Demon Slayer, right? That anime with
Sure.
with the guy who has like his little sister is in just in a box that he carries on his back.
It's true.
That should be her.
So what else? Oh yeah. So okay. So the tentacle comes back, grabs Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise gets pulled up into this thing's trunk butt, and there's this random soldier that's in there is like, all right, everyone grab onto me, I'll grab onto him, we'll just pull him out of there.
Yeah, this is Tom Cruise. We can't let
yeah.
that one
Yeah,
go.
which
No.
just to
Fuck that other guy.
Yeah, to push this further. Yeah, we see one guy gets sucked up into this thing, and he's just gone. Just fuck
Yeah.
that guy, he's gone. But then Tom Cruise is about to go, and
Yep.
the guy, everyone gangs up
Like,
to
Here comes
think-
the plot
take
armor.
him out.
I think the soldier saw him grab the grenade belt.
I think
Maybe.
it's a load of shit.
No,
Either
I
way,
think that's what they were trying to imply. With
so regardless, Tom Cruise gives this thing a hand grenade enema. Just a belt of hand grenades right up your trunk butt.
Tom Cruise, the rectal grenadier.
How the grenade pins ended up in his mouth.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's not the first time he's done this. All right,
His hands are busy.
Yeah.
it's just the first time he's done it on camera.
He had to tickle the right spot to make the thing prolapse so they could pull him out.
He put the
So
grenades
anyway.
in its prison
Yeah.
wallet.
So everyone's like, so the soldiers like get down, like ducking that extra foot is going to make all the difference.
Oh, it wasn't a foot. That was like centimeters.
Yeah.
To a bunch of people that were mostly on the ground already.
Remember Independence Day where we shot the spaceship and its dick right as it was about to come, and the whole fucking thing blew up.
I believe, in fact, the line was "up yours."
Yeah. Same thing here.
Yeah.
The tripod fucking explodes. You know, the internal structure gets ripped to shit.
Sir, they're going to notice we're ripping off Independence Day. Just give them 2 anuses each.
So the man basket gets dropped onto a fucking tree. How everyone didn't just get immediately impaled?
I think most of them in that basket did.
I didn't see any dead bodies though.
Well, yeah. I think
There were
again.
sticks sticking up through it. Like it
Yeah.
would have been.
Yeah,
real
I think
gross.
we're
So-
skirting that R rating again.
So
you don't
here's the
see
thing,
it, but
I think that's what would have happened, but I'm pretty sure in the movie
Yeah, it's
everyone
just
survived.
it's
that
It's
could be
just
too.
the
lazy
tree
writing.
from Jurassic
Because it was Tom Cruise, the trees
Yeah.
bent around
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that he had a soft line.
So
Park. Whomping Willow.
all right, they get away from
the
this
shit out of everyone.
debacle. After now they're -1 tripod. They've killed something, and
You know what? They had reached the body count for
yeah,
like you can have this many dead people because they're
Bent
from
them
the,
all on that lake.
well, yeah, it's not just the amount, but it's like what you
method.
can show.
Yeah.
Because them falling like that. If they showed anyone getting impaled, that's gonna be an R rating. Oh well, most likely that would be an R rating. But you know,
R
if you
for
just show
rectal.
like the basket with a bunch of things sticking through it that you knew people were in, it's like, well,
yeah.
Or maybe Kathleen Kennedy was like, "No, you can't kill them all.
so
Maybe some super-powered brunette will come and
well, what if it's an old character that everyone cares about
yeah, let's have him degrade himself the whole movie.
and get murdered,
Yeah.
or bury just do nothing and then die, just disappear.
Basically, if you could look like a bitch for as much of the movie
Yeah.
as possible.
But the character
And we
that no
should-
one loves that we just
All you-
introduced.
Getting 3 more movies, I think.
Oh,
Perfect.
and we're gonna name our main character Ray,
Yeah.
just like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all makes sense.
At the end of
So-
this movie, he says,
it's like sickler poetry, like it all comes around.
George, we told you go back in the parking lot.
I'm allowed here.
No, Steven allowed me. He let me
I
in.
dug my tunnel here.
He set up a bed for me and back and everything.
Heard you were giving out ancient Twinkies.
I can't call my house Skywalker Ranch anymore.
That's right.
because I lost the rights.
It's Palpatine Ranch now.
Wow, did
So-
that actually happen?
I don't know.
No, it's
That
not.
would be real awful.
Whatever. Either way, they walk to Boston. There's red bloody
That
creep
will
everywhere.
happen when
So-
Disney eventually
like
calls upon
Boston.
all its tripods that are under the earth. But
And so this is Russia. They tried to warn you. Well, hold on. Actually,
What?
before we get to that scene, one more thing. So they walk through creep-covered Boston. They see a dead tripod, and they walk for a little bit. The soldiers are like, "I don't know. It just died somehow.
Creep-covered
Whatever.
Boston,
Keep
not
moving.
meaning-
Keep
Moving while you can.
no,
Yeah.
again, because this is one weird things where I gotta, stick the point. But we see him going through, and he sees the red roots, whatever that we were just introduced to,
Yeah.
but still don't really know what they are. And he's like, "Oh, they're dying. That's weird." He walks like 3 feet, and we see one of these tripods falling over dead. And that's just how you
just
Yeah.
happened.
introduce this. Like,
Yeah.
just hey, the bad guy was defeated off screen. Fuck
Well,
you.
so-
like what?
You know, it's Boston. They got into a fight.
It's just bad
No.
air quality.
So
Was that the hitchhiking robot or whatever?
they walk 50 feet, and there's another tripod. This one's up and walking, and so like,
But it looks
Drunkenly.
drunk.
Yeah.
turns out crows are how you defeat shields. The crows defeated the creep. They're on top of this
Well-
thing, picking at it.
Not that they defeated the shield. They were
No,
just
they
like,
did.
now we can sit on it.
The crows defeated it. They found it.
Yeah.
It was all the crows.
So now this is where
It's
I'm
like the
like,
shield in Dune. They just fly at it
Yeah.
really slow, and then they can get through.
so now this is where Russia should have taken notice. They bring up some javelin missiles, and they tear through this tripod like it's a T-72, and just blow this thing to hell.
Now I know what you
yeah.
were talking about.
The javelin missile can handle an alien Death Walker. It can easily handle a Russian tank.
But again,
So
But what if you weld like some rods to the top
oh,
of the...
cope cage.
Yeah, it'll...
The crows took care of that.
Oh, okay.
but I said this while we were watching. Is like we can't hear shit of what's going on because there's just a bunch of noise. But basically, Tom Cruise is screaming to the military officer. He's like, "That's their weakness. Shoot them when they're dead."
Yeah.
That's basically how this happens.
Yeah.
Dumbass, there's no shield.
Also, why does he have to tell the military guy, "Hey,
'Cause he's
be aware"?
Well, military guy's trying to evacuate casualties, but he should be like, "What's the big Death Walker doing?"
Yeah.
So either way,
Yeah, someone should be keeping an eye on
Yeah.
that.
The
You would think.
military is not going to give up an opportunity. They're not going to let a virus steal kill.
yeah. So fuck yo
Kills the-
tripod. The CGI thing falls through a CGI factory, and then vomits orange juice everywhere.
CGI orange.
That was
juice.
not just orange. That was like Tang.
Yeah,
That's what I was
very,
trying to think
very
of.
thick tang.
Booty Tang.
And
Poontang.
yeah, so they. Why does it say poon on the tang?
Tang.
So anyway, so they walk up to it. The alien gets out, and he's like, "God, there's too much sugar in the tang," and then just dies.
Although, again, just to point out, this again another military whatever gentleman runs over to this thing and is like, all clear, as an alien is crawling out of it. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's not, dude. No,
Yeah,
it is
it's
really
still
not.
screaming.
Yeah. I mean, even this, like, we do see it seems to be dying, but A, you don't know that. B, it might not be alone. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. You cannot call
respect
this
the double
clear.
tap.
Definitely not time to stand down.
Yeah.
He pokes its arm with the barrel of his gun. It's all limp, so obviously it's. you know.
Oh, cool. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
This couldn't possibly
So-
be fake.
Work with
Yeah.
Vegeta.
Like, fuck.
So now Tom Cruise is carrying Rachel.
Oh, he's been carrying her this whole fucking movie.
They reach his ex-wife's mother's house.
The spared neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she runs over, hugs her mom. Robbie's just there. You're
He
like,
just literally used the teleport.
I'd want to know how you survived, but I don't care. I just don't.
like, hey, Dad, I'm just
him
here.
and Tom Cruise hug it out.
Tunnels.
Yeah, that's right. He found it.
Yeah, it's gotta be the tunnels.
And then Morgan Freeman plays us out as he's just like, well, God killed the aliens with bacteria.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Jesus. Good night.
And,
You know,
I
We
would've been-
earned our right by developing immunities to these deadly viruses. Most of them. We'll see in a couple of years. Don't worry about that.
You know, in the sequel, they actually ward off the aliens by using Rachel as a sonic weapon.
She turns into Rachel Ray.
That's when they
It's no
fuse
Rachel
together.
Ray.
Oh, God.
The magic Saiyan earring.
That's why Goku.
Yeah, well, then when you get to Rachel Ray, Robbie, then you're done.
That's
You're
what you
done,
know.
son.
Shows Jump the Shark.
So
This show is jumping the shark.
And the movie just
over.
whimpers out. It's like, okay, turns out
So
they
much.
just got sick, I guess.
So much.
It was like, okay, humanity, whatever. I'm glad. Hey, Tom Cruise, I'm glad you murdered that dude. And all you had to do was just take another sleep.
Wait another day. Yeah.
Not as bad as the ending to Mist, but close.
And
that's
the
like the
movie.
saddest ending.
Yeah. That is the worst.
Talk amongst yourselves, or Tony, you want to get that started while I get the list up?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so.
I do kind of want to read the book now, though, because I want this to make more sense. Wells
Yes.
was apparently like an actual science teacher, so he knows some things, but this is before they knew different blood types, so he knows.
You can talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes.
So yeah, on RottenTomatoes.com, surprisingly, and I'm confused. Critics gave this a score of 76%.
What?
Audience gave this a score of 42%.
Better.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's about right, but I would have expected the other way around, if anything. But anyway, that's the thoughts and opinions since you were already talking. Brick, now that you have something in your mouth.
No. I always have something in my mouth. So I saw this movie before, and I was like, "This is stupid." And then I saw this movie for this time, and I'm like, "No, it's still stupid." I'm not even going to dignify it with my usual long diatribe. Just don't bother.
Awesome. John.
I'm not gonna recommend it, but I enjoyed the shit out of it this time around. I would not watch it again, but
It's because I was.
What about just the Amtrak scene?
yeah.
Are you saying like so bad it's good?
Yes, I was laughing my ass off. With the fucking flying pants everywhere. Yeah, and the flaming train. Like
Staying on the rails with my flaming
train. Yeah. Yeah, I just enjoyed the ridiculousness of it. But yeah, not a recommend though.
Joe.
Like I said in the beginning of the episode, I think this was a case of the wrong director for this movie. I know at the time Spielberg could do whatever he wants, and Spielberg's name alone would draw a ton of money, but
Yeah, it did.
it has all the Spielberg problems. without any of the Spielberg advantages that come along. And just there's no reason these two kids should be in the film. And it's brutal. Like they ruin every scene they're in. They cause the one guy that's making semi-intelligent decisions to constantly have to do something that sucks because one of the two of them got into trouble. You're glad when one of them leaves, even though he just presumably died.
Immediately afterwards.
Yeah. And there were scenes in this movie that I thought could have been cool. And there were if it was Tom Cruise and maybe something like his neighbor who was pregnant trying to get somewhere safe, or he has some kind of ward that he has to protect and get, through this happening, but not one that's totally useless and screaming all the time and for half the film is just a whiny bitch to him.
It could be nicer to me.
Yeah, it's just it was rough for me to get through, and I can't recommend it. I thought the aliens were cool enough. The way that they die is bullshit, but that's War of the Worlds. It is what it is. A lot of the flaws with the story are just, if you're going to be true to the source material, that's what comes with it. So I could see how a lot of the critics like this, where they generally might be more tolerant of
Stupid shit.
Spielberg shit, but it's just rough to get through, and I can't recommend it. So yeah, maybe YouTube the pants flying scenes and some when the tripod shows up and starts firing the disintegration ray, but that's about it. And honestly, we kept comparing it to Independence Day, and everything in Independence Day looked better and was cooler. And I hate Independence Day. But I at least will acknowledge that Independence Day looks good at the things it tries to do, and this movie didn't even do that.
What'd be funny is if somebody recut the preview to this movie so that it looks like a comedy, kind of like how they made Mary Poppins look like a horror movie. That'd be entertaining.
But Rob,
No, I mean, it would almost be so bad it's good if it weren't so boring and takes so long to get between scenes. So no, this movie had no right to be 2 hours long. This movie had no right to have those asshole children in it. Do better, Spielberg.
I can't really recommend it either. As I said before, I feel like even bad Spielberg is better than a lot of other shit that's out there. But this is definitely one of his weaker things. It's a remake, which I know he was passionate about, and maybe a few years prior he might have been able to pull off something good. But hey, you're not really bringing anything new to the table, and what little you are isn't really good. And yeah, it has very slow moments, and then they throw in weird action things that don't really make any sense, and it's mostly just that girl screaming or getting herself in trouble. So which just annoyed the shit out of me. And fuck, I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah, it's not really anything good. So, the whole thing of literally, I know that this was a short time that they made this movie, but unless they literally were just fuck it, we need an ending, because the aliens dying of infection is in the book or whatever, or maybe not. Yeah.
Well, it was.
Okay. It was over the book, yeah.
Certainly in the original radio play, I'm not against that, but how you chose to show it was so anticlimactic and stupid.
It was like they were writing it all along, and then they suddenly looked at their watch and were like, shit, I gotta go home.
Yeah, it's literally everything's amping up and getting crazy, and then just, nope, they're dead now, never mind. Yeah. It happened while you weren't looking, and your son's still alive. Yeah. How? Why? Who cares? Fuck it. Credits.
These aliens you've been fighting all this movie? Yeah, you don't get to see that.
Oh God, do we actually recommend Independence Day?
Over this, I would.
Yeah.
Honestly, if those were the only two movies,
well, they're not.
Here's that caveat. I would say watch the original 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds. It probably holds up better.
But yeah, if it was the only two choices, I would certainly recommend Independence Day over this.
Do we have another alien invasion
Cloverfield?
movie?
A lot of them.
Well, that we actually recommend.
No.
That is the
Prince of Space.
I
don't.
Prince of Space.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I am not putting that down.
And
Plan 9. Plan 9.
Plan 9.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Critters.
I'm
There we
tempted.
go.
Critters. All right.
I feel like I need to add one more thing to my review. Just saying, like, I'm not dumping on Spielberg. He is an amazing director.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he made Jurassic Park, which is in my probably one of my top 10s. He made it Saving Private Ryan, which is in my like top 5. And
Dog, you made Jaws.
yeah, he
That
made
was
Jaws,
way more
the monster
suspenseful
movie.
and way less like yelly.
yeah,
But no one can bat 1,000.
exactly.
It's-
That's what I was going
No,
to
I
say.
get
No
it.
one bats 1,000.
I get it.
You learn
But we
from
had
your
to watch it,
mistakes.
so he's gonna take the heat for it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got for the people, Rob?
I don't know. I gotta roll a damn thing and pick a damn thing, and
Yes.
Who-
and I'm guessing
who
it's
rolled this
you're
one?
behind you.
It's
Who
Gonna
did
be
roll
we
it?
fit. It was one of.
I rolled.
Wait, who rolled this?
I believe that was me.
Oh, that
You
is
rolled
Rob.
it? Oh.
Oh.
God damn it! Don't roll it. Fucking 20.
Or what?
Don't.
Because
No,
we'll
I'm-
get the same
I guess
movie.
like what he's trying to say is don't put the decision up to me.
Yeah, no, I just every time he has to die, I'm both afraid and upset.
The 20 or the 1.
Yeah,
That's what you
there's a
should
10% chance we'll be. There it is.
Is it a 20?
Be. It is a 20.
All right.
Which one?
We're
Running out.
What do you mean we're running out?
We're running out.
Of what? Transformers?
Yeah.
They're making more, Joe.
They
don't
are
you
making
worry.
more, but we're going through them faster because he
what?
keeps fucking rolling
You know what,
20s
Joe?
and ones.
Fuck you.
What's that?
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That's also
Didn't we
terrible.
do that?
No.
All right.
I don't even know what I want to. But still, you put me on the spot, I had to choose something.
I have never seen anything.
Yeah,
from
at
the
least
first
this one I've
Jurassic
never
Park
seen.
movie.
You can think about this.
I would choose the next Transformers movie, but it's just too damn long. So yeah, it'll be that unless I choose a surprise other.
Nope. Nope. Pick it now.
Fallen Kingdom, the one with the raptor
Listen,
gun,
I'm the one that gets the
or is
movie.
that the one with Is that the newest one with the locusts?
I'm going in order. It's not the
Okay.
one with the locusts. We've watched Jurassic World up through Jurassic World, I believe.
And what would be the next Transformer?
The one with the Dinobots, Age of Extinction.
Okay.
Why? You'd rather do that one? Because it's way longer.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, I'd put my foot down against a 3-hour movie.
this is literally like, would you rather get kicked in the dick or kicked in the ass? Like it's.
Kicked in the
I'm
ass.
Ass,
okay.
yeah,
Not
ass
a-
doesn't hurt.
Not a great example. I'm Jesus. Okay, calm down. I'm just.
Would you
Sorry,
rather
My
I didn't
be,
mean to
point
get
being,
so-
I-
would you rather
it's
be
both
stabbed in the
bad.
dick or stabbed in the ass? That's
My point being, I don't like either option. So whatever.
Okay. Well,
Did you know in German?
Nope.
Spielberg
You know what?
directly translates
okay, I'm
to Play Hill.
changing my mind right now.
It does.
I didn't put my
That's a
piece
good
down.
point.
Next episode, we're not watching a movie. We're gonna play a game and we're gonna record it. Bye.
What?
Say goodnight, everybody.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, we're gonna eat my balls.
You're just making up.
I'm making up rules.
Just making shit up now.
Making shit up as I
All
go.
right.
It'll be fun. You'll love it.
Does it have anything to do with eating a 20-year-old movie?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I ended last week by screaming "fuck," and I see no reason to not continue
Okay.
doing that. Fuck.
Good night.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, and if possible, leave a review. If you have questions, comments, or would like to sponsor an episode, email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, you can buy a t-shirt, hoodie, and more at Teespring. Or gain access to exclusive content by becoming a patron at patreon.com/4ampodcast. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.